Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for the first of what will be a few CRL streams for the CRL Open season. CRL is actually back. It was not here in the spring, which was kind of interesting. I'm a bit confused to why they didn't have it, but I'm not the only one. But we are back now into the CRL season, so we get a little bit of a different format this year. It is the open format. So if you're familiar with RLCS, then that's pretty much what this format now is. It's simply just opens. Like, I wish I could explain that further. I really can't. There are 4 pools. Top 2 from each pool qualify for the main event, and the main event is where you can earn your points to qualify for champs, and so on and so forth. I say champs, it's basically like the CRL version of Worlds, kind of. It's just like the majors, that sort of thing. If you've watched RLCS, you're literally getting the identical format here. It's literally the same thing. Now, we do have a little bit before we get into our first matchup here. So we have Southern Miss. They end up having a I'm going to put that in quotes. I know you can't see me right now, but I'm putting that in quotes, a bye in the first round. That is due to having UCSC Blue and UAB Gold having a matchup that would determine who Southern Miss plays first. That match end up being a DQ. That happens fairly often. I mean, I'm also seeing a match that's in the same round as that, USC and Idaho, that is currently going on for almost 20 minutes. These are all best of 3s, by the way. So that is something that is kind of insane to see. Regardless, we should be ready to go here in just a little bit. Both teams are checked in. We are about 5 minutes past the check-in at this point, and we still only have 2 players in the party. And also, I don't even know if UCSC is like fully ready either. But let's talk a little bit about Southern Miss and how they have played. So I'll hand that off to you, because I just now realized how long I've been talking without letting you speak a single word.
You are so cool. So obviously, as normal, we have Astro, Zath, and Melodic playing in this matchup today. They are 3-1 in the NACE Varsity Premier, which is the American Esports Conference. They had their first match was a loss to ODU. They won 3-0 in Central Michigan on Monday, and it should be interesting. Teams to look out for in this bracket are Northwood, who has Hockey, Creams, and Zanil; Boise State, who has Jill, Durtho, and Woozy; Davenport, who has Balti, Brock, and Illinois State, who has Mansion, CG, and Cosmic. Obviously, the way that these work, it's a best of 3 until the qualifying matches, which are tomorrow, which is a best of 5. I'm pretty.
So the qualifying matches are also today. It's really weird, but essentially the way that this works is that, actually, as we get into the game, we can hop on over there. I'll keep explaining, though, while we get into the start. This is California Santa Cruz. You can see the slugs over in Cali. Melodic going to have the first pass. That's going to go straight to Astro. Incomplete, though. There is a follow-through for Zath. Sends it over mid, trying to find Astro. No boost, but he's still going to go up for that one. Gives it to Melodic. Dime out to the midfield. Not quite a goal. Packet loss, thankfully only on the observer side. So anyways, there are 2 teams that qualify from each pool. There's 4 pools. There really is no regions anymore. It's pretty much just every collegiate team. You can tell. I mean, Southern Miss is in Mississippi, and Santa Cruz is, if you can guess, in California. So they kind of took out the east-west region thing that they used to have. Now it's just everyone in the same bracket, pretty much. That's how you get Northwood, California, Santa Cruz, and Idaho, USC all in one place.
Yeah, which is interesting. Obviously, you're gonna have teams that qualify or that signed up for this that really won't make it. But I mean, hey, it's the experience. You get to play these amazing teams. This is a great opportunity for coaching to level up your game. Playing these teams like Southern Miss, who are just insane plays wise, but we'll see how all of these games go. I'm interested to see how every team plays.
Absolutely, and Not really a whole lot is going on here. It's been pretty defensive for the side of California Santa Cruz. They've really not gotten much offensively other than that previous play that we had just seen. Outside of that, it's been a lot of pressure from Southern Miss, but nothing too dangerous. There's only been, I think, 1 or 2 shots on target, but this is going to be another one that hits off the side post. Brian does get it out for just a second. That's a whiff from Panda, does make up for it. Now Astro sending it up to Zath. I think that was meant to be a dribble, but regardless, teammates are there. Now even more pressure from the side of Southern Miss. Finally a shot goal. Call it Astro. He's right there. Might as well be Astro World. 1-0 Southern Miss.
I mean, it was gonna happen eventually. Southern Miss really had it on on California Santa Cruz's side the entire time, taking shot after shot. What a defensive Cruz, but unfortunately, really the wall crumbles and Southern Miss scores.
And when you have that sort of pressure for pretty much 3 straight minutes, it's just almost unbearable at that point, especially when you're starting to get boost starved. You really get low. You're starting to have basically nothing to contest the passing plays, to contest the high shots. But as I'm saying it, we had something similar there. Brian going to be putting one back for California Santa Cruz. Now, I will remind everyone, this is double elimination, so the team that loses here is not out, but they only have 1 more shot after that, and that loser's bracket, it's a grind. There's at least, I think, 15 rounds, and that's probably an exaggeration. It's pretty close to that, though. There are an absurd amount of teams in that lower bracket. Now you're going to see a huge pinch out mid. There's 2 players, though, from Southern Miss up. A big miscommunication there. That could have been a massive offensive play, and it might still be able to, as pass over to Astra won't go. Panda to just wait for it. It's going to cost them the possession. Melodic finds a demo.
Melodic takes ball again. Little shot. Oh my gosh, what a recovery there from Melodic. Using that power slide to put him in a good position to hit that ball right underneath the California Santa Cruz players. 2-1 Southern Miss.
That is a fantastic shot, and you pointed it out exactly there. The power slide. I call it so many things. The power slide really giving Melodic the chance to shoot there, and that's exactly what you want to see from Southern Miss, especially early on in this day. A pinch attempt, and it was technically a pinch, but like not the pinch you normally see that goes 100 miles an hour. Regardless, the teamwork is showing itself, and yeah, not necessarily a pinch, but like the idea was there, and it was sort of that. Now you're going to see a 2-goal lead, and it's looking like Southern Miss is going to be in a good position here to take game number 1, and this is going to be a relatively long day. Demo into the net, not going to go, but Zath is following, has another player ready on the backboard. Astro double, call it money in the bank.
What a double tap there from Astro. Zath cutting it off. I didn't think that was going to be a goal, but what a nice little corner read right there from Astro. Call it luck, call it skill, whatever you can. It's a goal nonetheless.
Now 4-1, and that may just be the dagger to game number 1. Of course, still a minute 40, and you can score goals within a matter of a couple seconds. Melodic can't get the acrobatic save off the bump, and as I'm speaking, as I'm yapping a little bit, we get another goal from Santa Cruz, but they still got 2 more to go. They still have a minute 40, nearly 120 seconds on the clock to work with, so still a lot of time to go before it's really panic time for the Slugs.
Yeah, and I just want to take a second to realize the car body meta. You know, obviously we have Southern Miss all in Phoenix, and then California Santa Cruz in Octanes. However, that one player is in a Diestro. You see that often.
I was going to ask you what car that was, because I don't know what it is, because I've never seen it, and I didn't want to because I'm just very confused on the vehicle choice, but I'm assuming the hitbox is pretty similar to that of the Dominus.
Yeah.
It looks almost the same car, just a little bit different.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a car like that in competitive play, especially at this high of a level. You know, hey, I mean, if it works out for them, it works out. It's the player, not the car.
Absolutely. Zath almost had something there. The midfield being controlled very heavily by Southern Miss. This was and that might just be an own goal. It's a passing play own goal. The second touch may have been intentional, to be honest, but the first touch was definitely not exactly what they wanted. Zath gets that demo, and just looking for his teammates Fortunately, sends it straight to Brian, who launches that into his own net. That would be a dagger if I've ever seen one.
I don't think that Brian necessarily needed to touch that ball. I'm pretty sure it was just going to roll up on that corner post. But, I mean, fortunate. Melodic almost goes for that double tap there. Looking beautiful. Zath, 0 boost. Trying to make anything happen with this ball. Almost a shot there from California Santa Cruz. Melodic and Zath double committing. Ends up working out. 0 boost for Zath. Took Zath boost. With Astro and Melodic up. Don't know what they're doing.
Astro had another flip there. How did he get the second flip? I don't think he got a reset. He has to save that for a pretty long time. Oh, he does get a reset. He does get a reset there. It looked a bit weird from the angle, but wow, what a reset from Astro. There's a reason there's a term out there that's called Astro World. Right now, we're living in it.
Yep. Now, it's my understanding that Southern Miss is on a 3 goals per game little streak with 9.5 shots per game. And, I mean, we're really seeing it right now.
So that stat is pulled directly from Nace. I am the one who grabs the stats for this team. In fact, for most of our teams. As another shot off the backboard, almost very clean there. I think that was, again, Astro from the corner, but 0 seconds on the clock. Not much that Santa Cruz can do. That'll be game number 1 as the ball hits the ground. As I was saying, the stats, I don't have any for ECAC at the moment, but I do have them for Nace. They are currently averaging 3 goals a game in Nace. And saying that, they got 6 there. 3 alone from Astro, 2 from Zath, 1 from Melodic. Everyone contributing there, even the assist category, you're seeing 1 apiece from Astro, Zath, and 2 from Melodic. So everyone getting involved, whether it's a pass, whether it's a shot, whether it's a block, there's always someone on the ball. There's always someone trying to make a play, and they've done a very, very good job here in game number 1. Now 1 away from closing it out. Also, I did want to mention how many shots per game there were, and that is going to be about 9.5. And that is also from the Nace series that they have played, which they are currently 3-1. That is Nace Varsity Premier American Esports Conference. So take that how you will, but that's pretty much the highest level of competition in Nace, outside of like the other divisions that are also in Premier.
Yeah,
that was a lot of. But it looks like we're just waiting for UCSC. They are just talking things over. One of their players isn't readied up, and again, that's, I would assume, either changing the car or just working on what they want to do for this game. Trying to ice out Southern Miss a little bit. That's pretty common. That happens a lot everywhere. I'm also going to just talk about the bracket here for a second if there's anything interesting. I have it pulled up in front of me. We are now heading into game number 2. So while that's going on, while I look for some bracket stuff, let's let you hop on over and talk about the game as Brian getting first goal.
First goal, 3 seconds. If we could get the swap to the game right now, that'd be great from our production. But so far, Brian with that early goal, really quick, 3 seconds into the game. Southern Miss don't know what they're doing. A bit of an odd kickoff. Melodic passing it up to Astro, blocked off there by yeah, I'm going to call it Isaiah. Issa?
Sure.
Okay, Issa. Blocked off by Issa. Zath going to pass to Melodic down top right corner. Beautiful passing plays right there by the boys. Zath to Melodic. Melodic up top right corner. Basically unsavable. I mean, beautiful plays. 1-1, anybody's game.
Phenomenal pass, and that's what you need to see out of Southern Miss in the games that they have lost. That's kind of something that goes away a lot. They're getting more contested on their passes. There's not a lot of open lanes, and you're seeing here a lot of those lanes are opening up as Melodic finds another air bump into the back of the net. I forget who that was. I think it was Zath. Actually, Melodic did get a touch there. Regardless, that's going in the back of the net. Panda was not in a spot to save that. But that is quite the steal from Melodic. I thought Melodic shot it from the corner. I did not even see that there was a touch there. Almost a 1v1 play there for Issa. Zath, though, going to be on the save. Now on the backboard, going to carry this one away.
Tried to go for that little wall dash there. Couldn't quite get it from Zath. Melodic going for a flip reset. Zath going for a redirect. No, not really a touch there. Astro up for the challenge, hits it. Melodic misses. Let's see what Zach do here. Gets a flip reset, gets a touch. Melodic
Back pass.
to himself, going up for any plays, flip reset, touch again, couldn't get the second flip reset, couldn't get the little pinch off the ground. California Santa Cruz are all right on top of each other. An interesting touch there from Melodic to hit it away from Astro, but it's gonna end up being Southern Miss possession yet again.
So I will say that is just some insane like possession control, Southern Miss, but at the same time they didn't do anything with that possession. It was basically just keeping the ball away from Santa Cruz, which isn't the end of the world, but as I'm saying that, open net,
Goal.
can't let that happen.
Man,
But that possession could have been so much more. It just felt like there wasn't a clear plan what they wanted to do. Everyone from Southern Miss was kind of gathered together in the backside of their goal of their net, side of their half. They just kind of didn't have any idea of how to go about the offense. And that allowed Santa Cruz to find that opening eventually, as now you're going to see a double again from Southern Miss. They need to be a bit more careful with those types of plays. As I say, it's going to lead to a rocket of a shot from Melodic. This is, in fact, Rocket League, as it will not go through, ends up being saved. Now the pressure is starting to go on, a lot more organized from Southern Miss. The third isn't there to follow. That would have been Astro if that had been contested, but for now, you're just going to see a low boost on the side of Brian. Panda also going to be running low. Good shot from Melodic, very patient. Going to keep on this one. Actually, it'll be Astro sending it out mid once again. Southern Miss now starting to do a better job of keeping it into that blue half. That's really how you're going to win this game. We saw in game number 1 where they got their first couple of goals. They essentially were forcing Santa Cruz into their spot, into their net, and there, another great save from USM. So they're looking for more offensive prowess. Shot doesn't go. Panda sends it out, but Southern Miss still on the attack.
I mean, and as we discussed earlier, you know, Southern Miss really needs to be going for these demo plays, and I see hints of these demos coming from, like, as he's rotating back, taking out any player that he can, trying to hit him, just doing whatever he can to try and get these California Santa Cruz players out of the way. Also, it seems as if Panda has switched over to an Octane, which, smart decision. They are doing a lot better. Is it the car? Is it the play?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
That's Brian, a big boom downfield. Asher, though, will redirect that one out to Melodic. Ends up not needing to, but now you'll see Melodic pick it on up off the second pass. Zath gonna get room from Astro off that bump. Now back down to Astro. Shot, goal, top right corner once again. 1:23 on the clock, and Southern Miss have a lead once more.
Just barely right there. Panda almost having it on the skin of his... Oh, unfortunate backflip there from Panda. You know, you hate to see it right in front of the goal.
It did look like there was supposed to be a save there. It kind of looked awkward in the backside of it for Santa Cruz, but regardless, that'll be a Southern Miss goal. Demo for Panda, so now Issa has something to work with. No boost, though. That's going to make that play that much harder. Astro again out to the corner. Melodic now has the chance for a solo. Actually spots his teammate in the midfield. That's Zath looking for the top right corner again. Doesn't need it, though. Astro is there once more. Now 1:03 left. 2-goal lead.
Man, what redirect play. Ryan going for that demo on Astro. Couldn't quite get it. California Santa Cruz defense crumbling at the sight of Southern Miss, just taking shot after shot after shot. Bit of a fake kickoff there, going straight to Melodic, to Zath. Can he hit this? Right in there. 3-man passing play. Holy.
Towards the end of these games, you're starting to really see Southern Miss turn it on. They're kind of flipping the switch, and it's leading to so many plays. That, I mean, just beautiful passing from the entire roster. You've now got a 3-goal lead. Only 56 seconds are left. It's looking like that might be series, and Pinch does come through. Bump onto Melodic. Doesn't matter. Zath is there, sending it out. Air demo for Zath, looking for the cheese, and will get it, but ultimately, it still will be a save for Santa Cruz.
Yeah, Southern Miss, 0 boost. All of them just retrieved boost. In a little bit of a bad position. Melodic looking for a demo. Doesn't quite find one. After gonna go for this double tap, Melodic takes it. Oh my gosh. Southern Miss not backing off, even though they have the clear 4-goal lead right now.
What a shot from Melodic, too. I mean, you see him blasting into there, uses probably almost all of the boost that he had in the tank, too, to get that angle. And that's just an incredible shot. That looks a lot easier than it actually is. Like, if you go play Rocket League and try to hit that shot, I promise you, it is not as easy as that just looked.
Yeah. Not at all. I'm GC1. I'm like top 1% of the game right now, and I still don't think, give me 10 shots, I wouldn't be able to hit but one.
And Zath tests 7-2. Not quite a Brazil, but you're getting about as close as it can be without that actual score line. 5 seconds left. Southern Miss going to take this into 2-0, and let's just talk about the other series that's going on the other side of it real quick. It is Cumberland and Montco. That has been going on for 37 minutes. So there is a barn burner going on up there in Tennessee. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know if either of them are even streaming it. There's your final. It is 7-2. GG's overall. 2-0 series for Southern Miss. They will head on to the next round, but it looks like we're going to have a little bit of an intermission because I can't say I've ever seen a best of 3 take 40 minutes, but sometimes you need all 3, and you need all 3 for a very long time.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, overtime lasts an infinite amount of time. So if no one's scoring, the game's going to keep going.
Exactly. So I don't think Cumberland is streaming this today, but we can take a look. But what we are going to do is oh, never mind. They just got reported, and Cumberland won in game 3. I'm going to assume those 1-0s are not correct. It probably was more than 1-0 in every game, but regardless, we do finally have a match. It will be Cumberland University. I got some friends over there. If you were interested, it is Lebanon, Tennessee that place is scheduled, or not scheduled. That place is settled in. USM will now be taking on Cumberland University. The winner of this game will go on to play UT Arlington, who got a DQ victory over Rutgers, and they will go on to play that. So a lot of action still left here, and we are just right into it. Our overlay might be wrong, and that is solely because it is going to take a second to actually change it, but it is Cumberland University that we will be taking on. I don't know how much time they're going to have in between these. Also, I don't know when they're going to, they should report immediately, but sometimes it takes a second for the report to like fully go through. So we might just toss it over to an intermission for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll be back when everything else is set up and we're ready to get back into the next series. So we'll catch you guys on the other side.
Cool.
think so. I don't know. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The teams are here. You're just going to be looking at the game for just a couple seconds here, though, just so they can actually load in properly. But we should be good to go in just a minute here. It will be Southern Miss taking on Cumberland. We await the teams to get back in, as you're going to see a lot of joining leaving. That's just the nature of this. Also, I know the lobbies are really kind of weird sometimes. If you no one joins a team, it kind of bugs out a little bit, but should be able to start here in a minute. You saw just a minute ago as well, it was a 2-0 win for Southern Miss. For the side of UCSC Blue, now they head into this round where the winner of this game will play UT Arlington. Winner of that will play either USF Gold, North Texas, USC, or Boise State, which I think we can both predict it'll probably be Boise, but you never know. Upsets happen. Now we are into game number 1, though, of our second series, and that is just unbeatable.
Goal.
You're going to see this play go down pretty quickly. Melodic forces Greed to pick one player or the other. That is always a goal 100% of the time at this level. Green not given much of a choice. He would have had to have boomed it to the wall, and that's the only way you're saving that. Yeah. Didn't have the angle.
What a forceful flick there from Melodic, knowing where Zath was, forcing that 50 right. And as I say that,
the end of you.
From the end of you.
What a crazy name. That is so long. It's a whole sentence as a name. Cumberland, though, not backing down. 1-1. We are 10 seconds into game 1, and we've already got ourselves a draw. That's not 0-0.
I mean, 2 kickoff goals right off the bat. Insane. We'll just have to see end of you up for that challenge. Zath with the
reset dunk on Greed's head. Not much you can do there. Again, Greed kind of being picked on. There's nothing that he realistically could have done in either of those plays. Simply, Zath, very patient on the reset, knows there's time, hits the reset, gets the dunk. Perfect play. Again, not much you can do if you're Greed. Doing your absolute best. Melodic, though, very sketchy save. Does get there, but to make a play quickly as the end of you again contesting in the midfield, but looks like it doesn't matter. Pass, wide open net, no rotation. Melodic gonna get another goal for Southern Miss. Great pass from Zath, finding the midfield. Greed just not in the right position. I feel so bad. I am not picking on Greed. Greed is being picked on by Southern Miss. He's just being put in unfortunate spots every single time.
Yeah, and it's not even like his fault.
There's not a thing that they can do. It's literally just being put in that position.
Yeah, and Southern Miss, I mean, insane passing plays. Both of their goals. Another goal. Oh my god.
And it's going to be none other than Greed, who just barely is going to miss out on the touch on the contest from Astro. I'm so sorry to Greed. This is going to sound like we're talking down on them. We are not. It's just every single play. I'm in the backfield. Melodic gets a reset over one, goes for the double. Actually, I think just went for the air bump, but regardless, didn't get either of them. Now, Cumberland just trying to get this ball out of their half. They are down by 3 in what feels like just a minute of gameplay when it's realistically been just about 2.
Unfortunate, it was a nice little dunk, but missed his teammate. Greed up for that read. A shot comes off from Zath, not able to save it, just barely. Nice little touchdown from Astro straight to that. Aurora barely missed that. Holy.
Zath has a trick. We are a minute and 15 into the game. Zath already has a hat trick. It's been very good work from Southern Miss so far. Nothing Aurora can really get there control-wise. Flipped over top of the ball. Now Zath gonna look to make another play. Doesn't have the boost to make it happen this time around. So will be Cumberland finally getting some offense going. That it's a little bit more than just off kickoff. They have boost to work with. They have downfield, and that's a huge pass. Look at the flick, but it will be intercepted. Greed is there, gets a double commit out of Southern Miss, but Zath recovers, and it'll be a backboard touch, looking for the Psycho, and it's not gonna work out. Zath 6-1.
Aurora really tried for that psycho, so close, barely missed the car, and Southern Miss able to capitalize on that miss, scoring yet another goal. 3 minutes left in the game. 6-1 Southern Miss. Insane. Astro going for the ball again, hits it off backboard. That's not quite there, takes it to his corner, trying to get it out the way of Cumberland. Aurora zero boost, takes the bump. End of view, takes a shot. Greed with another shot, just barely to the left of the goal. Gonna take that little flick off the sidewall. A shot comes out from the end of view, missed. Unfortunate crossbar bounce right there for Cumberland. No one able to capitalize it. Did not read that bounce at all. Miss there from Greed. Hey, Cumberland is on this offensive attack right now. Just cannot manage to hit a decently nice shot off on goal. Zaf tried. Or the read off the sidewall right there. Astro going for it again. This has been a minute without a goal. The longest time this entire game we've gone without either side making a goal. Reed with a nice little flip reset for a shot there. Aurora going for that shot. Pass to the end of view. Dunks it over Melodic for that top right goal. Beautiful plays.
Finally, Cumberland getting back on the board. We see some good offense from them there. It's a bit of an awkward position for Southern Miss to defend. You could see Melodic kind of got caught on the post, but regardless, Cumberland, solid passing play. They're finally breaking into that orange half. It feels like it's been forever since they've gotten there, but now you're going to see again, they're trying to put that pressure down. No boost to make it happen. Zath reset. Maybe he looks for the double, actually just looks for the dribble and will score. 7 now for Southern Miss Coca-Cola. That's back-to-back games that they've put 7 on the board.
Zath again with that flip reset air dribble dunking over 2 Cumberland players.
I mean, the fact that you have to pull out like half of the terminology in Rocket League competitive to describe what just happened should tell you all you need to know about that play right there. Aurora not able to get much there. It's just going to be Astro slowly carrying this one out, heads it to Zath. Zath going to leave it for Astro, sends it back out mid to Melodic, corner shot. Call it money every day of the week. Now 8, maybe even looking for 10 in this game.
Dude, Southern Miss shot after shot after shot, making every single one of them. They've basically all been passing plays, which is really good for Southern Miss. They are taking this game as seriously as possible. Unfortunate for Cumberland that they got put with this matchup. Southern Miss is doing insane. Another air dribble there from Astro. Couldn't quite get it over the Cumberland player. Cumberland learning very slowly. Aurora missed. Astro gonna go for this ball, trying to see, faked out Greed right there on the ceiling. Flick over Aurora. End of view there to recover. Gets a nice little dunk right there. No one there for Cumberland to receive that pass. Zath gets it over one. Astro takes a shot. Saved by the end of view. Melodic goes for another pass. Cumberland on top of each other. Astro tried to go for the double. Couldn't quite get it. Melodic hits it up to Zath. Can he make this dunk? So close with the double.
Almost manages that. That is crazy from Zath, but at this point they've already clinched the game. You're not, know I say it a lot and relatively early, but you're not going to score 6 goals, especially in the span of 30 seconds. And that's just to tie the game up. That's not even to win the game. So realistically, this is going to be game 1 to Southern Miss, just going for whatever they can find. But it just feels like Cumberland has not had an answer yet for what Southern Miss has thrown at them, which almost all of it has just been some really smart passing plays. The spatial awareness of these Southern Miss players feels a lot stronger than what we've seen in previous weeks. It feels like they're slowly starting to come together. You're seeing it right here. I mean, their potential is very high up there. As far as I know, this Cumberland roster is a relatively solid one. You're going to see great pass. Quick chat. I'm assuming that meant to be a GG and it accidentally ended up as a great pass. But regardless, 8-2 game 1. You can see it there. 1,000 points for Zath. 5 goals on 6 shots for him, and that's not even mentioning the 2 for 5 for Melodic, and Astro I think was 1 for 4 or something like that. So game 1 will go the way Southern Miss, now 1 game away from facing UT Arlington.
Now it's interesting to see a swap of positional play from Southern Miss. Melodic is usually the one on the attack. Stro and Zath actually have been doing really well so far on the attack. Melodic with the majority of the saves, which is an interesting thing to see.
And that's a good thing to point out too. They are allowing each other, and I heard this yesterday in HCS, which is Halo Championship Series, so it's a little bit different, but regarding like the Optic roster, when someone is hot, they allow them, that player, to essentially go off. They won't necessarily just always just play their role because it's their role. And that's really what's helping Southern Miss today, as Aurora finding the open slot, top left corner. Astro, a misplay there, doesn't get the bump, doesn't get the control of the ball, and that's going to be a wide open net for Cumberland. Good shot into that top left corner as well. But as I was saying, Southern Miss really doing a great job of letting whoever is having the hot hand kind of just take control. In last game, and in fact, even last series, it was a lot of that was Zath. Zath has been having a phenomenal set of games today so far. Now going to have control here off the ceiling, passes it middle, great pass off the wall pinch, but no one will be home. Melodic now taking his opportunity, goes for the dunk, doesn't connect. Astro now out to Zath. It's a relentless set of offense. Here's Melodic once more, just trying to boost starve and put these players of Cumberland into awkward positions, and doing just that. Astro, though, finally going to have to leave that to the midfield. Aurora, though, no boost. Not much you can do. End of view, also not getting much going. Melodic going to send this out to Astro. May just look to go for it himself, actually, and does. Follow through for Astro, won't connect. So finally, Cumberland are getting a couple breaks that they really desperately needed.
Yeah, I mean, so far, Aurora going for this flip reset, hits it over one. Melodic with the save. I mean, Cumberland doing great at defense right now. Both teams doing amazing. Aurora got that early goal after going for a touchdown. Can't quite get it. Melodic playing that smart third man, you know, defending. Nice little bump play there. Zap able to retrieve that. Astro gonna try and just take this little dribble, hit it off the backboard. Trying to hit it to Melodic. Couldn't quite get there. Melodic up. Nice little 50 in air. Zath makes it there. 50 again off by Zath. Melodic just taking it slow right now. Southern Miss taking it a little slower for Cumberland. Them taking it fast has really put the offensive pressure on them. It's nice to see a little change of pace from these players.
Yeah, Cumberland doing a great job adjusting. They're playing a lot heavier on the ball now. They were giving a lot of space open to Southern Miss, just a little bit slower than they should have been. That could also be because of the team that they played in the previous round may have been a slower team, and that's especially coming off of a 3-game series. There's another shot from Zath, not going to connect, but you're seeing a lot more contention from Cumberland on these passing plays, and that just sometimes comes with warming up to a squad. I don't know how many times these teams have played each other, if they ever even have. Zath reset, won't go. Save again from Aurora. I believe that's their 3rd of the game. Now Melodic going for a solo, gets a good dribble. Now here comes again the pressure from Southern Miss. Phenomenal touch though from Green. That would have been a goal. That touch out to the wall didn't occur. Now Aurora can carry it down, at least buy some space for the team to grab boost. But saying that, I see Aurora doesn't really have much. Melodic again, solo play, looking for the double contested from Aurora. See, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. A lot more contention on the ball, regardless of where it's at for the side of Phoenix. Finally heating up, finally starting to understand how this Southern Miss roster plays. It might not matter though. Green, 0 boost save.
Man, Cumberland right now really playing this defensive pressure. Southern Miss cannot seem to get a shot off right now. They're just trying their hardest. Needs that 1 goal to tie up the game. 50 after 50. The net's been basically open, but Cumberland able to get back every single time. They're playing their position really well. They know what they need to do, and they're doing it. Unfortunate little touch right there up to Aurora. Not really there to make it. Aurora 0 boost. And looks like Southern Miss has another offensive pressure right here. Zath gonna go for that. Hits it top left corner off of a double tap.
That starts all with the mistouch from Aurora. Look to control the ball and ends up popping it to the back, or to the basically center of the Cumberland side of the map. And that's really what starts that play for Southern Miss. Then it just allows the pass off the back wall and the shot to come in from Zath. So you're seeing just the small little misplays from Cumberland are starting to cost them a pass across the middle again. We're seeing a lot of those that aren't being completed. Southern Miss just not quite on the same page fully. What we saw in game one. 30 now on the clock. We're tied up at 1 apiece. A lot closer of a contest than when we saw previously, as Melodic not able to get anything there. Astro, I think, got a very minor touch that barely did anything, but it was enough to throw off the offense. Greed will at least be able to send it down. That's a huge demo from Melodic, going to relieve a lot of pressure. Looks for a second bump, won't get it. Astro needs to get this touch, does just that. Now here comes Melodic. No time on the clock, can't hit the ground, but there is still the ball that is in the air. Past middle is Melodic there. Yes, shot in the back of the net. 0 seconds. Southern Miss 2-0.
Wow, what a little pass there from Astro to hit it perfectly to Melodic, and all Melodic had to do was get his car under the ball and jump.
Didn't even, barely needed to shoot.
Barely.
It was just kind of to him, but regardless, that is exactly what you need if you are Southern Miss. 2-0 again. Now they're going on to play UT Arlington. Winners round 4. They are moving through the bracket today, having a solid set of matches. 2-0 over UCSC and 2-0 over Cumberland. That was quite short too. I mean, considering how game one was kind of long, because it was what, 8-2 I think at the end of that.
Yeah.
But still great stuff from the side of Southern Miss. Now moving on once more, they will be playing UT Arlington. I don't know, we probably have another little break, so we can toss it intermission again if we would like to. It'll be probably about 2 to 3 minutes. We'll catch you guys though on the other side as we continue in the CRL Open day 1 week 1. We'll see you guys on the other side. Welcome back here. We are just waiting for UT Arlington to ready on up, get into the lobby, of course, but also basically just actually say they're here. Check in. That's the term. I couldn't remember the term check in. I said everything but that. We're waiting for them to check in. There's a chance they don't. I hope they do. They did get a DQ win over Rutgers, so they probably are there, I hope. But regardless, we just need to wait for them. This match isn't played, we are going to be waiting for quite a long time. We have to wait for Boise State and North Texas to finish, and then we need to wait for the winner of that game to play USF Gold. We will get into this other Miss game. But while we're here, I took some time. I got the notification from Collegiate GG, which is like, for those of you who don't know, they do power rankings for CRL specifically. They cover everything CRL related, even NACE and stuff like that. They talk about power rankings and all that sort of thing. Almost half of the top 25 are in this singular bracket. I'm going to list all of them off. So the number 1 ranked Northwood is in this bracket. Number 6 Harrisburg. Number 9 Davenport. Number 11 Illinois State, otherwise known as Redbird. If you're familiar with the collegiate scene, you'll know them as Redbird. If you're not, you'll probably know them as Illinois State, same school. Number 16 Boise State. Then you get to Southern Miss, which is ranked 20th. And then you get to 23rd, which is Bruton Parker College, BPC. So all of those teams are all in this singular pool with 2 qualifying spots on the line. Just 2 for, what, almost 10 of the top 25. That is insane. CRL was pretty similar. You get a lot of stacked brackets like that, especially if you're in the East. You just naturally get a stacked bracket every time because a lot of the top teams are in the East. But this is like almost unheard of levels of ranked teams all going in one little shot here, which I do have the things pulled up here. There's obviously a bunch more teams that aren't mentioned here. I actually thought Maryville, Maine was in this bracket too, but it's not. It's their academy roster. If Maryville, Maine was in this, there would be so many teams deserving of a spot that just wouldn't get one. And that's kind of, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. It's kind of my issue with this style of bracket. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad because it's literally just RLCS. You actually brought this up over the break. If there was the 4 majors and then world system, it's not quite that. I believe 2 majors, 1 spring, 1 fall, and the one in the spring is kind of like the world's champs, whatever you want to call it. So we are running close to where UT Arlington will be forfeited, I believe. I don't remember if it's at 10 minutes or 15. Actually, they have checked in. It just takes a couple seconds to update on the website. So we will have a match, thankfully. Some time while Boise State and North Texas fight it out, and then the winner of that game versus USF fight it out. So how are you feeling? I know you don't know anything about UT Arlington, but how are you feeling about this game?
I mean, Southern Miss has played a heck of a game these last 2 matches. I mean, just absolutely cutting down this defense. We saw them in that last game against Cumberland, that second game, get a little rocky. Really couldn't get back on defense where they need to. A couple misplays. Overall, those passing plays put them over the top of Cumberland, just destroying. I'm excited to see how they use each other and how they use Zath, who has really been popping off, to help them win against UT Arlington.
I mean, he's had a hat trick in like 3 of they've played 4 games today, and I'm pretty sure in 2 or 3 of them, Zath has had a hat trick, which is just unheard of, especially in something like CRL. Of course, the competition they haven't played one of those big ranked teams. Like, they haven't played a Northwood, a Harrisburg, a Davenport, so on and so forth, but they will meet with Boise State if they win this game. I say they will. That's not a guarantee, but if things go according to the way that they realistically should, they will meet up with Boise State in the next round. It does look like we have the game ready, but the players haven't joined sides yet, so when we start the game, we will hop on over to gameplay. You're not missing anything. You're just, to be honest, we're just looking at the ball in the middle of the field. So we're not missing anything just yet. Excited to see what happens in this one. I know UT Arlington is a decent roster, but they haven't even gotten to play today yet. Both of their matches have been DQ. Actually, no, they did play. They beat Texas Tech 2-0, but I know Texas Tech isn't a crazy roster, so I'm not 100% sure what really quality of team is there, and then they get DQ over Rutgers. So there's not really much information to go off of in that sense. Southern Miss, of course, we saw them play Cumberland, who's a solid roster. They're not in that top 30, but decent roster. It's probably similar to what we would see from UT Arlington. That would be my guess. So realistically, there's not much to go off of, but we are now ready to get into the game. We finally have everyone loaded up. So let's pop on in and let's see what happens. We got some Rocket League continuing for the day. Zath, Caribou going to be the ones on kickoff. We'll see where it goes.
Yep.
Actually, random shot. Whoops.
By Southern Miss. Melodic taking the ball, trying to get this pass middle. Demo there by Caribou. Ball sitting in front of goal. Shot by Astro. Connects. Couldn't quite get the shot off. Nice little touchdown from Melodic off backboard. Zath trying to capitalize, cannot. Nice little call out right there. Melodic backing off because of Astro's shot. Not able to get anything quite off. Almost an own goal. Couldn't quite go the way of UT Arlington right there. Melodic miss jumps. Couldn't get up. Zath hitting it upfield, just trying to get it out of their half. UT Arlington keeping on this offensive pressure. Southern Miss really hasn't been able to do anything. They've had a couple good shots, not really anything good. Astro going up for this, hits it down off ceiling, pass to Zath, blocked by, is that random?
I believe it was, yes.
Okay. And then Astro hitting it to Melodic. Melodic with the smart turn. Both Caribou and Nava are up right now.
USM now on the backside, but not for very long, as Melodic will carry this one out. As Astro in the midfield looking for that pinch again, not going to connect on it. That'll count as a shot for Melodic, but it's really not a ton of pressure that was put down. You're going to see Caribou try to carry this one out. It'll actually just go straight to Zath, who's off the backboard. Astro doesn't have boost, but doesn't even need it. 0 in the tank. That's all you need for for Astro right there in that play.
Wow. All of Southern Miss players, 0 boost on that play. Astro getting that quick little double jump there, that speed aerial to get where he needed to be, using the last of his boost to just slot that ball into the game. Melodic going for a flip reset. Demo can't quite get there. Astro gonna try and hit this middle to Zath. Hits it up to ceiling. Bumps off random.
And a whiff there too, but there's no way you can read that whiff. If you could, then that would have been a goal for Southern Miss. But of course, doesn't matter what rank you are, you're never reading a whiff like that. Melodic, I think, just went for a turtle shot, doesn't connect. Now going to be back in their orange half. Astro, though, on the backboard, controls the ball. And something I want to note is that this UT Arlington team, it feels like we're seeing a bit slower plays from them in comparison to that Cumberland series. So Southern Miss going to have to adjust for it. They can't just fly at the ball this time around. They have to be a bit more careful and methodical about their plays, as Melodic going for that double tap, not going to get there, but Zath has a follow, actually not going to go. Gets a demo, gets a double demo, one player left, trying to play him around like a fiddle. Melodic won't connect on the shot. No goal just yet, but here comes Zath, now looking for a double that's going to waterfall straight down. Again, though, Southern Miss just trying to put on some pressure, looking for a goal, but really not going to find much in terms of shots. Didn't really have a lot of passes to work off of, and right now they're mainly just looking for pressure. Slowly going to work towards that passing play. You can see there again, but there's no one for Southern Miss in position. So possession, just keeping the control. That's all you need to do if you're Southern Miss. Control the possessions, double. Rare time you're going to see a miss on an open net like that, Astro, but
man, very close there from Astro. I'm so surprised. I thought he had that. It was open. No one was in the goal. Arlington almost had that easy shot off there. Astro saving it. Going to Melodic, trying to hit it. What a read. Zath, 0 boost in his net. Manages to beat Caribou. Open net here. Can Melodic hit this double? And of course, he can. Solidifying that goal 2-0.
That's a shot you're not going to see Melodic miss. There's actually a training playlist called Shots You Shouldn't Miss. That is one of them. I miss that shot every single time because I am in Diamond. But shots you shouldn't miss at the high level, and that's a shot you're not going to miss if you are Melodic. It doesn't matter, though. UT Arlington getting it back right away off the kickoff. I believe there's a small whiff there, that or the ball just didn't really move. Yeah, it didn't really move. Astro misreads it. And to be honest, whichever player gets a touch there is probably scoring. So if Astro would have hit it, if Astro would have gotten a touch there, it probably would have been a goal for Southern Miss. So just 50-50 essentially. That's not a 50-50.
Going for this offensive pressure off backboard. Melodic barely misses that goal. Zap take another shot, not quite fast enough to get past defense. Astro going up for that ceiling read, managed to get it. Nava with the ball and boost, bumped off by Melodic, not doing quite as much as I think Melodic wanted. Nice little bump to get the ball over. Astro going, or Melodic going up for the ball again. Get a dunk. Caribou, nice little hit out. Random just hits it away, trying to relinquish this offensive pressure that Southern Miss has on right now. Caribou's zero boost, trying to hit it. Open net. Can Zaf solidify it? And he can. A little bit of a weird touch right there.
I mean, it goes in the back of the net. Not what I expected to see, but he doesn't have boost there, so there's not a whole lot he can do. Great car control from Zaf. Puts it in a spot where he knows Random Shy, not a chance. You have to squishy, and at that point in time, there is no way that I believe it was Random Shy who was a net is going to get there for the squishy save. So just going to solidify game number 1 to go their way. Now you're seeing UT Arlington try to get a goal as quickly as possible, but now that there is no time left, that will be game number 1, and it will be Southern Miss Coca 5 in a row.
I mean, beautiful plays from both teams there. UT Arlington in that beginning played a heck of a defense, coming out on top 1-0 with, I'm pretty sure it was a kickoff goal to start out with.
Yes. But Southern Miss really has not had to play a ton of defense today. They've had to play a little bit, but it really hasn't been anything that challenging so far. I've seen a couple like acrobatic saves, but realistically, it doesn't feel like they're being challenged super heavily right now. And into a series like with a Boise State, that's really where you're going to see that sort of play have to be more honed in. Looks like we might not be waiting actually super long. Boise State just beat North Texas 2-0, so they will be taking on USF Gold. The winner of this series will go on to play the winner of that, and it is again currently 1-0 Southern Miss. They are looking to make this another 2-0 whiff from Random Shy, just trying to get them to bite, but they will not. Zaf not going to connect. Astro will though, and it's a 1-2 punkaroo. Southern Miss up 1-0 just 13 seconds in.
An early goal there from Zaf. Fakes the double tap, having both of UT Arlington's players go for it. And with him not hitting it, they just crossed each other's paths with no end in sight. Both of them went for it, which means open net there for Southern. Force Astros really easily. Let's see how UT Arlington respond. They're going to need probably a fast goal here.
Already seeing adjustments from UT Arlington, and that's why they get the open net goal right there. Look at how fast they are contesting. They're going about double the speed of what they were last game. You remember how last game I said it looked like they were moving a bit slow? Now they're moving the exact opposite. They are going insanely fast. Every single possession is being contested, and that's why I don't understand. Teams are not contesting these Southern Miss players. You cannot allow players like Melodic and Zat to have open space, especially with how strong their passing game is, and even how strong they are on the solo plays. A shot from Caribou. Now UT Arlington starting to step it up. So again, a great touch upfield, and going to be a double commit. That should be a goal, and actually Caribou does manage to get back. But now seeing Arlington go get a lot more aggressive, it feels like they're a lot more in this game than they were in game number 1.
Yeah, but I mean, as we can see, a lot of double commits coming off defensive here from Arlington. They need to pick a player to go for that ball and trust their teammates, making sure that they know they can hit the ball. Obviously, that first goal was a little bit of a double commit. Caused Southern Miss to get a goal, and we're seeing that a little bit here. The only reason why they haven't gotten scored on is because they've had that third man back. The one double commit that they make with no third man back could spell the end of UT Arlington.
seeing Southern Miss just try to get this out of their half. That one's almost just in the net, and that one actually will be in. So UT Arlington really starting to claim leads here. Still 3:23 on the clock. There's a lot to go. Good pass though from Nava. Gonna find random shy Zath just a little bit in front of that one, and it's gonna go right behind him. So finding the slot, finally getting back into this one. And again, I think simply a big increase in the pacing. They're not giving USM as much space as they had in game one. And when you're not giving players like this space, that's realistically the main way you're going to win games. Now Melodic tries to go for something, at least keeps it in that blue half, but for how long? A whiff from Caribou, gonna give Astro an opportunity. Nava though recognizes. And something I want to bring up is we're seeing a few more double commits from UT Arlington, and I want to say it's almost guaranteed because of how fast they're playing. It seems like it's unnatural for them to have that sort of play style. So that's realistically why you would see a lot more double commits now that they're playing at the pace of USM. But you're going to see Random Shy have a chance to shoot here. Actually tries to send it over to Caribou, not going to connect on the pass. The link there between those two not clean enough. And that's going to give USM possession once more, not for very long. Zath will just try to send this to Astro, but it's actually just going to be a pass over to UT Arlington. The midfield really being the point of contention right now. Melodic, though, beats two, has one more to go. Dunk, good play from Nava, though. Tries to send it out. Now in the center of the field, Melodic and Astro up. Where is Zath? Right there, looking for the double. Can't find it. Melodic, though, with the follow. 2-2, 2:04 on the clock. Southern Miss, so much offensive pressure, and you're seeing there why they're so dangerous.
Yeah, means UT Arlington picked up the pace, and now Southern Miss has picked up the pace. Goal after goal after goal. These teams are back and forth right now. Each team trying to find a strategy that works well, which right now for Southern Miss, it's just keeping a speed that's faster than UT Arlington. I mean, UT Arlington has been able to keep a speed, but Southern Miss increase their speed exponentially this game to try just beat UT Arlington's defense, making them double commit, because UT Arlington, as you said, is probably not used to playing at that speed, which it's working for them. Goes for that quick shot, couldn't quite get it. Oh my gosh, Caribou.
Own goal technically, but regardless, Caribou gonna get credit for that. I believe Melodic was the one that was trying to send that out to the backboard or to the corner, but doesn't have the right angle. It's gonna cost them a goal and lead once more. It'll be 3-2 Arlington. A bit of a break there for them. Regardless, you're gonna see Melodic looking to make up for it. And that's going to be a huge 50 from Caribou. Managed to get possession for UT Arlington. Now Southern Miss again on the back foot whiff there, but at least a bump from Zath. Now Melodic again just trying to be the solo play guy, and it's really been working out for Southern Miss. Astro doesn't get a touch there, has to leave it for Melodic once more, but what is there for Southern Miss? They need a goal here if they don't want to send it to three, and a missile of a shot from Astro won't go through, but again it's up mid, there's no one in net. Zath gonna hit that one every day of the week. Just way too much net to cover for that player on the backboard.
I think that was a bump there from Melodic, or an attempted bump. Melodic doing really good at these offensive bumps. You know, he misses the ball or he hits the ball, goes straight for to take someone. Taking that man off means it's a 2v2, which 2v2 is way more open space than 3v3s. Southern Miss, that's really good. It means they have an open shot, open net. As we can tell, it's working out for them. A lot passing to Zath, can't quite get there. Astro back on that third man, nothing really to worry about. Shy tries to hit that ball, couldn't quite get it. Melodic on the dunk, a little triple commit there from Southern Miss. Doesn't really matter. Zath going for this pass, trying to hit it center. There to get the ball back. And USM on this offensive pressure, hits it to Caribou. Caribou in awkward position, but no one's there to capitalize. The ball of a 3. Will this be an overtime game, or will Southern Miss end it here? Got one more offensive pressure. Astro with the shot right off of crossbar in the goal. 0 seconds.
That's 2 series in a row. We're seeing a 0-second goal far down in bottom right corner. 4-3 Southern Miss, and that will be game number 2 as USM again 2-0. They have not dropped the game yet today, and now they wait for the winner of Boise State and USF Gold, which that would be a top 20 matchup between number 16 Boise State and number 20 Southern Miss. We'll have to wait for a little bit to see that series. Great work from UT Arlington on the adjustments after game number 1. But again, just like we saw in the Cumberland series, the adjustments weren't enough. The pace of play for Southern Miss is just too great for a lot of these teams that they've played so far. And there's a reason that they haven't dropped the game just yet.
No, 100%. I mean, beautiful plays there from Southern Miss. Really, whenever you didn't expect a goal is where they scored a goal the most, especially that 0-second goal. I mean, I thought it was hitting ground.
I did too. I didn't think that was going to go into the back of the net. I thought after it hit the cross, it was going to go down. It did, but it didn't hit ground somehow before the zero or before it went through the net. So just a phenomenal shot there from, I believe it was Zath that ended it, or Astro that ended that. So Southern Miss on a heater today, but now they're realistically going to have a very great challenge ahead of them. Of course, pretty close, pretty even in terms of their skill, but still, you're finally going to get one of those top 20 matchups, and that's something I've been waiting to see all day. So we'll be back on the other side of this break. We'll have a little bit of time. We'll probably put 10 on the timer for now and come back whenever we're ready to get into the next game. We'll catch you guys here on the other side when we're ready to have SM versus Boise State or USF Gold. We'll see you guys then. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are still waiting on Boise State USF Gold, but it's about 17 minutes in, so they should be finishing up somewhat soon. You were not here for what we've seen so far. We've had 2-0 Southern Miss in round 1. 2-0 Southern Miss in round 2, 2-0 Southern Miss in round 3. And in those series, they will beat UC Santa Clara, or Santa Cruz, I'm sorry to anyone at Santa Clara, Santa Cruz, they beat them 2-0. They beat Cumberland University 2-0. That second game had a last second goal that was pretty nice, but quite as good as the one that we saw against UT Arlington in game 2 to close out the series, where it was a bar down shot that barely went in at that bottom right corner. Great stuff all around. But so far, Southern Miss not dropping a game. They've gotten close, but they haven't quite faltered just yet. That's what you want to see, especially going into a series like what will probably be Boise State. Again, it could be USF Gold, but that would be a massive, massive upset of catastrophic proportions. Like that would be like some insane type stuff to see happen. Don't really have a lot else for you at the moment. Pretty much just waiting for that to go down, which should be relatively soon, but we just wanted to come on, let you guys know that that was happening since we had about 10-minute break already, but we're probably going to just toss it back to an intermission for about 3 to 5 minutes. We will be back on the other side of this break when we see, hopefully see Boise State or Southern Miss, but we'll see who comes out on top in that series between them and USF Gold. So we'll catch you guys on the other side. We'll be back in a little bit as we head to another quick little break. I don't think production has their headsets on, so give us a couple seconds till we throw to intermission.
Yeah. It's okay. They'll see us eventually.
Throw to intermission, peas and carrots. Maybe not. We'll yap for a little bit longer while we wait for them. I don't think either of them have the headset on, which is a-okay. That happens sometimes. So, State number 16 overall in the power rankings. Southern Miss ranked 20th. I'm sorry, I'm just not giving USF a chance here. I feel really bad because I have friends over at USF, but like it's a Boise State roster that is quite stacked. So realistically, I don't see them losing that game. If you look at it did get reported. It is a 2-0 for Boise State as expected. 3-2 game 1 and 6-0 game 2. So it will be Boise State that we have against USM. We will probably have like a minute or two here before we get into the game, but we will hopefully have the overlay update and stuff like that. If it's not a big deal. We'll just remind you guys what the differences are. But we do get number 16 taking on number 20. The winner of this game, you would never guess who they're going to play. You would never guess. It is Northwood, number 1 overall, of course. When this game goes to that. Yeah, I mean, Northwood should qual through uppers. I just don't see that. I just don't see Northwood not qualling. If they don't qual, then like there are so many ulterior actions that are happening. I would be questioning so many things if they lose. But Boise State, Southern Miss, 16 versus 20. This is the top 20 matchup you've all been waiting for. This is the top 20 matchup I've been waiting for all day. I looked at this bracket and I said, when do we get to play Boise? I want to be there, which to be fair, I said I want to be there like 3 days ago when I already knew this was happening. So like, that's a whole nother ordeal. We actually just had a whole conversation off stream about that whole thing, but we're just going to wait for the check-in to come through. Probably going to be like another minute or two, and then we can get everyone in the lobby. Boise's streaming this. They should be. Boise should stream. They deserve to stream everything, man. They are incredible. Their production and their entire org is awesome. I love Boise State. I've never been there, obviously, but like I would love to see their stuff someday in person. They have some really cool things going on over there. So this is the winners quarterfinal. Both teams are checked in and ready to go. So we should be getting into the game actually insanely soon. Next round will be the winners semifinal, which will be the round before qualifying. Let's take a gander at the other side of the bracket while we're waiting. We're going to see Davenport taking on Virginia Tech. Davenport again should be winning that game. There are number 9 in the power rankings, which actually, wait, where is Harrisburg University? Who did they play? They should be close to this side, or they may have played Northwood. I know Harrisburg was in here. They beat ERAU. They lost. They got 2-0 by Iowa State. That's an upset if I've ever seen one. Wow. Harrisburg University. That might be their academy. Hold on. Let me look. If that's Harrisburg University, Maine, oh, it is their academy. Okay. So when I said Harrisburg University was in this bracket earlier, I am going to apologize. I lied so hard. Harrisburg University is not in this bracket, but it doesn't matter. It's their academy team, so it be what it be. It's not that stacked. If it was that stacked, I would have had so many concerns because that would have literally been 10 top 30 teams in the same bracket. In fact, top 25 teams in the same bracket, which would have been ridiculous. But we do have everyone in the lobby, I believe, just waiting to start the full game and everything like that. And winner goes on to play Northwood. But on the other side, let's talk it out a little bit. Davenport, Virginia Tech. As I said, I think Davenport will win. They're ranked number 9, I think, right? Yeah, they're ranked number 9. They're a very, very strong team. They will play either Redbird or Rochester Christian. Illinois State is really, really good. They are ranked number 11. So if we see that game, well, we won't see that, but if that game happens, I would be very excited to see the scores from that one. Again, everything best of 3 until the qualifying matches. So you don't have as many opportunities to win the game at that point, but we'll see. Now we have officially loaded into game. We just need to pop into spectator, and we do have the Boise State stuff going on. So we are in game. We should be ready to go. Players joining the lobby as we are actually everyone just leaving and switching teams. Our overlay is going to be swapped. So Boise State will actually be on the orange side. I'm so used to like Val and every other game where it's red. And the side of Southern Miss will be on blue. We cannot fix that mid-game because it will literally close out like the entire game. It won't like close the game, but it'll take it off screen. So we just we'll just correct it for now as Melodic going to launch it downfield, but Durtho going to be right there to receive it. You're going to see a lot faster pace of play here from both sides. Now you're getting into the really speedy players. Melodic a missed touch mid, but Zath is there to clean it up as Zath not able to get the second touch. Astro ball goes over top of him. Melodic going to miss. That is going to be a wide open net. Durtho. First goal to Boise State.
Man, I mean, the speed of play already from these players is a step up. Southern Miss is gonna have to adjust early on here. I don't. They're not acclimated to this speed yet.
Can't say I've ever casted a game that's this fast either. I've never casted like RLCS or like high tier CRL, so this is also new for me. Durtho again looking for the reset, doesn't actually use it until the very last second. Didn't end up mattering. Melodic gets the save, but was he now looking for the midfield? This is very similar to what we were seeing a lot of from USM. Melodic, though, will be the one to take possession now. Astro is up off the ceiling. Doesn't even need the ceiling. Pass it back mid. Zap not there. Melodic ends up trying to shoot it, but it hits into Astro. So now back foot for Southern Miss. Durtho not actually able to do anything there. Zath gonna pass this one out, gets bumped all the way to the moon, maybe even Mars. See it in a little bit of time. Was he all the way out to the backboard? Looks for the double straight down, not gonna connect. Melodic now, chance for Southern Miss. The counter now going for the double, can't hit the shot. Zath zero boost. Melodic still there. Southern Miss looking for cleanup. Zath is open net available. 1-1.
Gosh. Wow, what a game so far. Southern Miss immediately adjusting to the speed of play from Boise State right now. It is just a crazy close game. Durtho or Boise State could not get back to that ball. Melodic goes for a little bit of a slow kickoff, gives Southern Miss a little bit of an advantage. Gil gets it over the Southern Miss defense for another goal. What a play. Look at that. For Zath, did not expect it. Holy.
We talk about pace of play, and you're seeing it right there, ladies and gentlemen. 2-1 lead for Boise State. Crazy pinch off the rip. Zath, though, will be the one to control it. Getting contested by Jill, but it's a demo for Zath. Won't get control of the ball, so Jill pretty much doing everything they needed. Still, though, pressure for Southern Miss for a little bit. They have that control of the orange half. Durtho, no boost. Jill and Wuzzy, though, are good to go. Show great pinch there, a great 50. Although it won't be much control. Boise now looking for the ripper off the top left corner. Not going to go. Follow-up won't fit either. Wuzzy, the only player left there, has to back away. Durtho going to be back into that third roll. Durtho down to Wuzzy. Not going to connect. Melodic up into the air. But the 50 going to go the way of Boise State. There's the double. And Boise State taking a commanding 3-1 lead.
Wow, the speed of this play right now is crazy. Boise State holding no care that Melodic jumped at all. Didn't even play the read. They played the miss, which ended up working out for them, able to score that goal right down into the goal. Another speedy attack right there from Boise State. That, or Astro doing a little bit of a fake play. Melodic jumping, trying to get any bit of an offensive play that they can. So jumps for this, not quite the redirect he was looking for, couldn't quite get the touch. Southern Miss trying to find anything. Boise State not letting off of this ball right now, just putting shot after shot on Southern Miss.
Yeah, and you're seeing Southern Miss kind of struggling to get out of their own half. Finally, they do, but for really how long is that going to be? Passes a for Southern Miss. It will be Gill clearing that one away out to the corner. Durtho trying to contest. Jill not going to get the bump, but Durtho will send it mid and no one home. Jill just going for a demo. Will grab. It's Southern Miss, though, with possession. Trying to get it out mid is Zath. Not going to get much there. Contested. Now Astro, next man up. Good bump. Melodic looking for a double. Not there, but Zath has a wide open net and hits the top crossbar. Cannot have that happening. I said wide open net. There was a player there, actually. I missed them completely, but regardless, Zath very well could have had a shot. Had no boost, but still the opportunity. That's not going to go their way. Now 50 on the clock. It's going to be Boise State in control, and now Durtho just looking for bumps. Melodic gets possession. Zath off the side wall, trying to find Melodic again. Won't. Astro sends it away. Southern Miss don't have a lot of opportunity to get much going. Zath sending it back down to Astro off the back wall. Actually just going to look to shoot it himself. Won't connect. The net has hard to reach if you are the Golden Eagles, as now with just 25, it should be a Boise State victory in game one. Would be the first loss today for Southern Miss, the first game loss today for Southern Miss. Melodic up in the air, almost on the ceiling, not quite reaching the ball, as Zath trying to send it back down, looks for the second touch, not gonna get it. That's gonna be game number one. It will go the way of Boise State. Finally, Southern Miss being challenged.
Wow. What a game from Boise State. Southern Miss couldn't adjust to that speed of play in time enough to get any substantial goals. Obviously, Zath missing a little bit of that open net there. There's really nothing you can do about that. It's got it very close game if you think about it. It's going really good.
Yeah, so far, I mean, tough one for Southern Miss there. Again, we did mention that goal that was missed. Regardless, there still was not another major opportunity that they had to score. So I don't know how much it would have affected the game, but you're going to, again, look at these kickoffs from Boise State. It's giving them so much pressure right off the start. And you're seeing Durtho now looking for someone mid. Wuzzy not going to have boost. Jill needs to be careful here. Durtho also getting bumped back. So that's going to give some open space to Southern Miss, and that's going to be a great shot from Melodic. But Wuzzy with the save there, going to keep the goal to scoreless.
Southern Miss trying anything they can to score. What the Melodic not able to get there to take the shot. So again, just trying to take a bump, nothing. They very low boost on this defensive end. Southern Miss doing really well to have this shot by Astro. Almost read by Jill, able to throw Astro's path off just a little bit. Zap a pinch up to hit to Melodic. Another shot cleared by Jill. Astro taking a nice little touch. Has zero boost to get to. 50'd out by Zaf. Melodic mistouch there. Could not get there. Astro going for it. Melodic, can he get this read? Not quite. Off the ball, couldn't quite get there, very close. Was he able to get there just in time? Melodic gonna just take a quick little shot there. Probably had enough time to fit that. Melodic not able to get there for the shot. It just cannot connect on these passing plays.
We're seeing a lot of adjustment from Southern Miss as well, as Wuzzy ends up whiffing there. Astro may have ducked one, but the third player not able to get past. This ball has been in the orange half for so long. There's almost been 2 minutes off the clock, and I'd say for about 1:45 of that time, Southern Miss has had the ball in the orange half. They just haven't been able to capitalize off of that offensive pressure. A good 50 out from Astro, at least going to keep the ball still away from Boise State. But for how long? As you're going to start seeing a lot more contention. Wuzzy trying to make an opportunity for Boise State. Not going to go. Now Zath trying to contest. Didn't have boost to make it happen. Astro, again, not able to really get much downfield. Now this is an opportunity for Boise State. Melodic on touch mid. It'll be a shot on target. Zath again in the back of the net. Melodic just go for this ball regardless of how much boost he doesn't have. 0 boost out total. Zath and Astro also pretty low. What can they really do? Clear out to the center, or to the left wall. So Southern Miss now are the ones on the back foot. We saw how much pressure Southern Miss put on the Boise. Now it's going to be that same idea but reversed.
And Melodic on that ball. Southern Miss seems to be on the offensive again, just trying to slot. Both teams playing really good defense right now. Master and try to go for that. Whoa. Redirect from Melodic off the sidewall, right in that goal.
Great read from Melodic there, and those are the types of shots you want to see. There's a reason he tends to play that first man role. He can create so many shots for himself. He can kind of make something out of absolutely nothing. You see it right there. And that's exactly why you bring him onto the roster, as they will take a 1-0 lead over Boise State here in game number 2. They don't want it to be that easy for Boise State. 1.5 left on the clock, so still time for Boise to make it on up. But so far, if the rest of this game has been telling of what will happen here in the last 1.5 minutes, it very well could be a Southern Miss victory. It's another double going to come through. Melodic launches in but doesn't find the ball. Wuzzy sends it down to the USM corner. Zath carries it out. Durtho contested. Good contest. That 50 will benefit Southern Miss, but for how long? It's going to be Jill. No boost, but here comes Wuzzy, keeping it awkward. Melodic sends it out, but not going to get much out of it. Durtho, huge demo out from Zath. That's an open net. That should be a 2-0, but no shot will connect.
My gosh, Southern Miss missing that open net. They really didn't need it. Boise's going to be scrambling for a goal here, trying their hardest just to take any shot off Southern Miss. And as we saw, it almost cost them a goal. They're playing at a speed of play which they're not normally playing at. You know, came off there from Melodic, taking that offensive man off. Wuzzy's going to take control of this ball. Let's see if he has anything. 18 seconds left, over 1. Durtho,
that's going to waterfall. Just Durtho not taking his time. No, somehow for Boise State, they've managed. USM has managed to make it work, but there's still, the ball is there. Wuzzy has boost off the sidewall. That's definitely not the touch that Wuzzy wanted. Jill now going to be the one up in the air. Huge 50. That might just go into the net, and it 2-0 Southern Miss. Coca-Cola. That scoreboard is incorrect, by the way. Boise State has a game. It is now 1-1. We are headed to 3. We are going the distance. Remember, winner of this plays Northwood. Loser of this will be waiting for probably half an hour, as there's about 2 or 3 more rounds that need to happen before that team will play again. But man, Southern Miss making it happen, as now we get a game number 3. This is, the distance is necessary. All 3 will be the way that we go. stuff from Southern Miss there. The adjustments are sure perfect. Golden Eagles, they're going to look to soar high. And this is, again, remember, number 16 Boise State, number 20 Southern Miss. This is the top 20 action you want to see. As now we are headed into number 3. What will go down?
I mean, wow. Boise State almost had that last game. The ball was literally tickling the goal line.
It was in the net, but not fully. It was about 85% in the. That extra 15 is what's going to cost them the draw at the end of it. We'll see if they can make adjustments, though, for game 3. It'll be Jill looking for the ceiling, finds the backboard, miss off the backboard for Southern Miss, but it won't quite go. Boise State not going to capitalize. Now here comes Southern Miss off the bump. Shot from Melodic goes through.
Could this be an upset?
Absolutely could be. 30 seconds in, and Southern Miss take a 1-0 lead here in game 3.
What a bump from Astro off of Durtho, getting him off that ball to score an easy open net. I mean, Southern Miss is not backing down whatsoever. Nice little kickoff here from Boise. Woozy tried to read the hit, doesn't quite get it. Zaf gonna take a nice hit up to Astro. Astro blocked by Durtho. Ball, however, still on Boise State's side. Was he gonna take a nice little touch? Astro able to get up there. Blocked off by Gil. Melodic, nice little touch. Astro 0 boost. Last defender. Can he? It is a no.
Durtho gonna flies off of that. Great shot. Wide open net to shoot at, to be fair. But regardless, the team play, finally Boise State getting back into it. It feels like so much momentum had gone Southern Miss's way. And finally, you're seeing Boise State crack back into this one. You're Northwood, and I'm assuming you're in the chat if you're Northwood, but if you are, I would imagine you're wanting Southern Miss to win this game. I thought that was an open net for a second. Joe was back in time. Zach doesn't have a boost, so he's gonna have to be careful how he plays it. Was he maybe bouncing that one over Astro just narrowly? Save. Zap not gonna get much out of that. Thought he had a clear, but not quite. Melodic will be the one to have to contest it. Was he not gonna be there for very long? Melodic, though, no boost, just looking for someone mid. It'll actually be Zaf picking it up. No bumps from Melodic. Now has to go back and recollect. Melodic will be the one to get the ball. Bait out Durtho, and Wuzzy does get a touch off the backboard, looking for Jill. Not gonna be there. Only gets it back mid. Nothing home for either side so far. Good defense from Southern Miss. Not great attack from Boise State.
Man, Southern Miss right now playing a heck of a defensive game. A little double commit, but it's working out for him in a good way. Can Jill take this shot? Blocked by Astro. Shot by Durtho goes in. Sure, that was a bump by Jill on Astro in the net for that open. Wow. Let's see. Yeah.
And so, I don't know where Zaf was. I don't know where he was rotating from, but so I'm a bit surprised to not see him rotate all the way back to the net. To be fair, I couldn't quite see him to begin with, as another ripper of a shot comes in. Zaf right there in the net, getting a save. But as I was saying with that last play, I'm not 100% sure where he was beforehand, so there's a chance he didn't have an opportunity to rotate back. It just threw me off a little bit, seeing him contest a ball when he knew he was not going to get there. Maybe just looking some form of contention wherever he could find it. Zaf, though, getting 50, Melodic, acrobatic save off the backboard, just needs another touch and gets it. Even gets the little 50 off the second one, and that was very necessary for Melodic. There was so much pressure, and no one on USM had boost. Now they've gotten time to get boost. Melodic, though, in an awkward position, and that's going to be a capitalize from Boise State. You cannot allow those little touches to not go your way. You need to have full control of the ball at all times, especially against a team like Boise State.
Southern Miss right there. 0 boost for 2 of them, and the one that had to get back in time. I mean, they're gonna have to start rotating boosts. Obviously, we've seen Boise State pull out some demo plays that have scored them 2 goals. Something about that. Maybe start demoing their own. For this, Durtho misses the touch. Woozy's gonna have a free little ball here, tries to flick it around. And
But
was the down shot saved by that?
seeing a lot of boost starving from Boise State. And that's because of how much pressure they have on the ball, not even allowing Southern Miss to get possession. And is giving the Boise State every opportunity to boost starve every single little bit from Southern Miss, and you're seeing them continue to capitalize off it. They're 70 miles per hour on that ball. Zaf gets demoed, can't even see the shot, but it doesn't matter. Boise State commanding lead, 121. This is likely their series to lose.
Yeah, Boise State pulling out these demos, taking that defender off, especially these aerial demos. I mean, that last goal on Zap from the defense, easy shot there from Woozy. A minute, looking too great. Or know what could happen.
Wuzzy, wide open space. There's no one in the midfield for Southern Miss. You can just stall so much time, and that's solely because they don't have boost again. Look at this boost number: 0 for Melodic, 8 for Zaf. The only player with boost tries to fly in. Now Southern Miss gonna have to scramble back. Here comes a double off the backboard, but Zaf able to find boost, able to get back. Such a sketchy situation. Melodic is not touching the control. I think just waiting for the teammates to pick up the ball. He was kind of weird position, not much he could really do there. 25 on the clock, though. That is going to be game. That is going to be series. Boise State, Southern Miss made it close, but ultimately will not matter. Boise State going to move on to play Northwood, and Southern Miss going to have a very, very long break. There's 2 series that need to go down yet before Southern Miss plays once again.
And if this goes the way that we're thinking it will go, they're going to have to see Boise State again if they're going to run up losers bracket.
I could be know where they would play. Where's BQ? Just have to find a couple matches on the bracket. As you see there, the end of the match. Actually, they would play the loser of Davenport and Illinois State, but of course, that's not right away. They will play either NIU, Ohio State Scarlet, or NAU Gold. Then they would play. They'd probably play State, and then it would be Illinois State. So there's still an insane amount of bracket. In fact, if we want to pull up the bracket screen, we can, but there's a lot of scrolling you'll have to do. So it's just a lot of explaining. But gone for probably about 30 to 40 minutes now. So unfortunately, it's going to be a while till we see another game. We apologize. It's just the nature of these brackets. But we're going to toss to an intermission. Again, we're going to probably put 30 on the clock, and we still won't actually be ready to play the game. But in 30, we'll be back, and we'll talk for a little while we wait for the next series to start. But we'll catch you guys on the other side of the break. We'll see you guys in about 30 minutes. Let's head over to the break. we are timer was kind of perfect time word to Shadur Sanders. But we are here just about ready to hop into the next match. Ohio State Scarlet just 2-0'd over NIU, which I believe was Northern Illinois. So we should be able to hop into the game between Southern Miss and Ohio State Scarlet here really soon. Need to wait for an invite into the game, obviously, and also make sure both teams are actually ready to go. But we are now back, almost ready to get started. If you were not here for the previous matchup, USM ended up falling to Boise State. So they went on to play Northwood, which honestly, that series is probably over at this point in time. I can actually take a quick scroll up and take a look if I can find it. It looks like actually they're still playing. My bracket also on my laptop's a bit broken, so like I'll attempt to refresh it and just make sure everything is good with that. And actually, yep, there it is. Northwood 2-0'd Boise State as is tradition, to be honest, with that roster. And Northwood is playing Davenport, so as that result does affect USM. So USM's run through losers will of course start with Ohio State. They'll have another round where they will play, if they win here, they'll play either Iowa State or Queens. If they win that game, that's where that match comes into effect. Illinois State is awaiting the winners of Southern Miss, Ohio State, Queens, and Iowa State. So a bit of bracketology there, something that I always enjoy a little bit of, but we are just currently needing to wait for those series to all go down. But Illinois State, very strong team. They are currently power ranked 11th. Boise State was ranked 16th, just for reference sake. Just waiting also now on Southern Miss to check in for this matchup. I see on the other side of the bracket, Iowa State Queens has just started, so these series might be done at relatively similar times. Boise State, though, putting up a very, very good fight against Southern Miss, of course, winning 2-1. Game 3 was really where it all came down for Southern Miss. A lot of boost starving, just incredible control from the side of Boise State. It's a great team. They're going to know how to play, especially in those circumstances. So great stuff there from Boise State. They move on to play Northwood, of course, end up falling. But I believe that they could be one of those teams that gets that second qual spot. Realistically, I'm going to put this in there. It's probably going to be either Davenport, Illinois State, Boise State, or Southern Miss that takes that second qual spot. You can quote me on that. I just don't see it going any other way. Those are 4 teams that should absolutely, one of them should be the qualifying team. But we are already in game 2, so that is actually great to see. Don't have to stall for super long. Southern Miss Coca going to be taking on Ohio State Scarlet. Let's get to it.
All right, Zath gonna do a little bit of a fake kickoff, giving Melodic the ball. Melodic going up, trying to get under, couldn't quite get it. Astro gonna hit it. Melodic jumped for some reason. Zath not able to get the control on the ball that he needs. Does get a bump though. Melodic up for this, couldn't quite get a touch. Astro gonna go again. A little bit of a midfield play, you know, no one's really gotten a shot off right now. Zath bumping off. Astro going for the flip reset, gets the little dunk. That's a shot, open net. Wow.
Teamwork. Southern Miss once again. You see Astro just holding the ball, very, very patient, forcing Bungo to make a play, and that allows Zath to get back to the midfield. Basically works as a pass for that midfield shot. You'll see Zath connect on that almost every single time. He's been having a big day today. Has had, I think, 2 or 3 hat tricks so far. Looking to make it another already 1-0, and we're barely a minute into this game.
Own goal there from Melodic, I'm pretty sure. Let's see, Gaines did bump off Astro, I'm pretty sure. No, own goal from Melodic. That is fortunate play right there from Southern Miss.
Tough break for the Golden Eagles. I mean, it doesn't even take that long for Ohio State to get right back onto the board. It's going to be Gaines again, looking, gets the reset, but doesn't decide to use it. Tried to bait out Zath. Ultimately going to lose possession, though, and that's really what matters in that interaction. Desan not able to get much either. So it'll be handed over to Melodic. Gets it over to the midfield, but Bungo, the one to carry it away for Ohio State. And we're seeing a bit of a slower pace from what we saw in that Boise State game, but still Ohio State keeping up with Southern Miss so far. Gaines now again with the ball, not for very long. Astro just going to go with a backwards shot onto the net, and that will be a goal. Great awareness from Astro to just sit, wait for the ball to go to him. Desan not able to get there in time. 2-1, Southern Miss again taking the lead.
What a shot from Southern Miss. Southern Miss is going to have to keep a bit of a fast speed of play if they want to stay a little in tune, waiting for this, I'm pretty sure, Illinois State matchup eventually face if they win these next two matches. But they're gonna have to keep speed up. You know, we saw in that match against Boise State, they got kind of swindled by Boost. A little bit of an open net from Zap there, manages to slot it. Gaines couldn't quite get there. I mean, Golden Eagles aren't backing down. A little bit packet loss on our end, but you know, we still see it.
And thought Melodic had gotten a bump there, not quite, but that was a point we brought up a few series ago, like 2 or 3 series ago, where Melodic, the second he's off ball, he's going straight for a bump or a demo to the player in net, and that is huge for the side of USM. That's going to open up so many more plays. That's realistically something they need to do even against the higher quality teams like Boise, as that one floats just past the top of the USM net. Astro going to be able to carry this one out once more. Great bait and switch there for him. Melodic now should be up for this ball, gets it straight to Astro, and now the passing play will start making its way forward for the Golden Eagles. Not going to do much there, but reset has been made for the offense. Not for very long though. Desan tries to just sneak one through, won't get much out of it. Bungo now the next player up. Melodic still just here in the corner contesting. Astro taking it out, but for how long? It looks like it's going to be a big clear. Finally, Southern Miss going to alleviate some of that pressure now with just 2:20 on the clock. Still have that 2-goal lead. Zath up for this ball, tries to get a second touch that works as effectively as a shot, won't go. Astro now just letting it for any teammate, but no one has boost other than Zath, so Southern Miss not going to connect there. Going to have to look for another avenue to find the back of that Ohio State net.
Yeah, and I mean, Southern Miss really, they've kind of double committed on defense a couple times here, almost leaving it open for Ohio Scarlet, or Ohio State Scarlet, but they really been able to capitalize. Southern Miss just keeps peppering on with the shots. Unfortunately, Southern Miss can't connect, especially with that Zath goal. No one was there, even though it was just sitting in front of goal for a solid 4 to 5 seconds. But Southern Miss, no matter what, keeps the pressure on, trying to keep it on Ohio State's half. See, Southern Miss keeping the pressure, keeping the ball control. Little pass down to Zath, blocked. Gaines gonna hit it up. No boost for Ohio State. Barely any for Bungo, trying to get up for that. Astro couldn't quite take the boost right there. The 50 to Melodic. Melodic's gonna probably try and take that up. Jumps again. Zath, a little double commit. It works out.
I think that was an intentional double. So you can see this one looks a lot more intentional than most of them. You can see Zath doesn't have a lot of boost, and that was probably communicated between the two players. And Melodic knows he also doesn't have a lot of boost. So someone just needs to go for the ball, and ultimately both of them kind of had to, because someone was not going to have enough boost to get back to it. And it ended up working out for Melodic's sake, as now it is 4-1 Southern Miss. It's very similar to what we saw in a lot of the earlier series today, where Southern Miss just kind of dominates offensively for the time being. 40 seconds now on the clock. This should be game for Southern Miss. It looks like they will take game number 1. I'm going to check in quick with the other series as well to see if there's an opponent or at least a game reported, and it's not looking like that will be the case, so we'll have to see what goes on later. But Southern Miss, very strong first game over Ohio State Scarlet. The Buckeyes struggling right now, as Astro didn't, if he had boost, he could have definitely looked to redirect that, but only had about 25, I think, in the tank, somewhere in there. Sure, now again off the backboard, looking for the redirect, actually looking for the pass mid. Zath waterfalling it down off the ceiling. Nothing available just yet for the Southern Miss offense. Going to reload, reset out for Melodic. Nothing there. Let it hit the ground. No need to keep it going. Game 1, Southern Miss 4-1. One game away from sending themselves into the losers round 8.
Looking really good for Southern Miss so far. 2 goals for Zath, 1 goal for Melodic, 1 goal for Astro. Not a lot of saves on the side of Southern Miss, but only 4 shots came off for Ohio State. So kind of equally, they all had 3 shots for Southern Miss. Game with 3 shots for Ohio State. So we'll see how the adjustment goes here for Ohio State. They're going to have to play a little bit faster. A couple of shot opportunities is that they were played a little bit faster. They would have made it.
Absolutely. Ohio State had a couple opportunities there. You can kind of see they're not working as fast as what we saw from Southern Miss. Also, not a lot of opportunities for passing plays, as that one there almost works out. Dasan, though, to withhold the counter attack basically by himself for a little bit of time. That one's going to waterfall straight down. 2 players from Ohio State up. Almost works out, but again, it will be Melodic, the one contesting the midfield, and that's what you need to see if you're Southern Miss. A lot more collective play, as long as they work together to make these passes and these shots go through. One for Bungo, won't connect, hits the side crossbar. Another one, but Zath, pretty easy save there. Gaines gonna whiff on that touch. Dasan doesn't have much to go for either. Bungo, last player back for Ohio State, just trying to buy time. Now gonna allow his team to also move towards that midfield, gain a little bit of map control. They need it desperately, as seeing what Southern Miss have been able to do. Almost a mistouch. Dasan gets it off the backboard, but realistically nothing there. Melodic goes for the reset to carry it out. Still though, Ohio State starting to put on a little bit of pressure, but as I say that, it'll be another booming clear for Southern Miss. A lot of big touches going for both sides, not a whole lot of controlled shots, and almost gets one there. I believe that was Bungo again looking for a shot for the Buckeyes. Not going to work out. 3.5 on the clock, and so far no goals for either side. Zath not going to catch that pass. Astro gets blocked. Again, Ohio State looking for something. USM putting on so much pressure, it's almost unbearable for Ohio State.
Man, I mean, USM offensive pressure here. Ohio State keeps going for these off the backboard reads, almost leaving themselves open. 0 boost for all Ohio State players right now. Southern Miss looking like a great position. Beautiful counterattack. It's a 1v1 for Astro, going for the demo. Couldn't quite get it as Zath was demoed off. Smart little play there by, I'm pretty sure that was Bungo. Let's see if Melodic can make anything happen. Such a close double tap. Anyone can do it. Melodic can. Astro going for that quick shot. I get it. I believe there's no one back right now, but it doesn't matter. Melodic clears that ball. Astro again going for a bump, just can't get the touch that he wants. Let's see, Dasan gonna try and hit it over. Bungo takes the shot. Astro there to get off, and Astro block it off. No Ohio State players back right now. A 1v1, 2 back gains, popped it off Dasan to shoot it up the field. Oh, misses game. Melodic 0 boost, gonna try and take this flip reset. Nothing that he can do. Open net, not any shot taken right there. Zath hits it up to Astro. Astro a little bit of a misflip. Zath going up again. Let's see if he passes it off to Melodic. Melodic able to get that 50. Goes up again. Gonna fake it for Zath. Shot misses. Astro going for it. Takes a nice 50. Hits it out to one of his teammates. I mean, man, Southern Miss on the attack right now. Really State is doing an amazing defense. Ooh.
Something I want to point out there, you mentioned a fake. That has just not been much of the game plan for Southern Miss. I would like to start seeing them integrate a little bit more fakes, especially after watching Worlds. It felt like almost every single goal was off of a fake. You just need to see a bit more of those higher level plays for them to really start breaking through the mold, especially when it comes to playing those rosters like Boise has Gaines. Gonna slam one into the bottom right corner. Great play from Ohio State. Caught Southern Miss rotating back, and Zath overcommits. Knows Melodic is behind, but not behind far enough. That bottom right corner is really going to be the dagger for that goal, at least for Ohio State. We'll see if Southern Miss can respond. Bungo not going to get much. It's going to be a pass up to the midfield off the backboard. Is anyone there for Southern Miss to capitalize? And they will be. Takes a few passes, but eventually it will go through.
Oh my gosh. Astro passed it off the backboard to Melodic, who just slots it. Really easy. Southern Miss did not want to lose that game. Goal in 10 seconds. Southern Miss still in it. Ohio State's going to have to score another to secure this win to go to a game 3. Let's see. Zath going for that double. Whoa, right off the corner. Couldn't quite get it. Astro going to get challenged by Bungo. Gets 50'd off. Astro 3v1ing right now. No one was there to dunk that in off of Astro's pass. Gaines does a little musty flick. Couldn't get it. Zath is going to boom it. A little over double commit there, and it causes a goal. Ohio State.
That's a great call there. That double commit is exactly why there's a goal scored by Gaines. I believe they may have been going for a pinch there. I can't really tell from the angle that they were at, but regardless, you can't let that happen. Now, Ohio State, a team that I don't really know a whole lot about, so I'm not going to say they shouldn't be competing with Southern Miss because I could be talking completely incorrect there. But a team that Southern Miss realistically should be probably beating 2-0. They're going to take them to 3, and now it's do or die time for both sides. Good pass there, but as I say that, it's not quite over just yet. We've seen a couple 0-second goals. Melodic doesn't get there. Bungo is trying to keep this away. Melodic doing a good job of constantly just popping that ball up. The demo from Astro buys some space for Southern Miss, but that's a good touch there from, I believe that was Desan. Actually, it was Gaines who puts it straight to the ground, forces game 3, and now both teams on the back foot. You can see there, look at the shots category for USM. That's 8 total shots and 7 from the side of Ohio State Scarlet. So we got game number 3 ahead of us, and the winner will take on, I believe, the winner of Iowa State and Queens, with the loser ending up of the event.
Yeah, I mean, Southern Miss is gonna have to. We're doing really good passing plays at the last 17 seconds, but you need those passing plays in the whole game. I mean, they can do this. Like, this team, I think the first game was 4-1. Like, they have the ability. Also, Ohio State capitalizing on these double on the defense.
As a bump into the air actually just gives perfect position for Gaines. Smart. That's a good play from Southern Miss, but ultimately it just ends up working out, and sometimes you just have luck on your side. Melodic, though, will be at least carrying that one out for the moment. Astro off the backboard. Is he going to be there for the read? No. I think there's also someone on the backboard for Ohio State, so regardless, that probably was not going to go in. Pass out to Desan. A bit dangerous, though. Shot from Melodic. Zav contesting on the 50 in the midfield. No one home for Southern Miss. Actually, there is. Melodic gonna be just a little bit faster now. Zath there. Melodic doesn't get the bump in time. Astro off the backboard. No one for Southern Miss able to go immediately for that ball. Gains good bump. Now Ohio State on the offensive. We'll see what they're able to do here. Zath just trying figure out what the play is right now. 50's out Bungo, who doesn't have boost. Gaines doesn't have boost either. Does manage to pick up a couple small pads, but not going to help them get into the net here. If you are Ohio State, just needs to back away. Zath now carrying it out, sends it to Melodic, and there's no one there once again for Southern Miss.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State playing a really strong defensive game. The bumps that they're bringing out is a crutch for Southern Miss. I mean, we saw in that Boise State game, on that third game, game, Southern Miss was getting demoed out of their mind, boost-starved out of their mind, and they couldn't respond. Southern Miss could not respond at all, which right here, Melodic scoring that double tap from the path from Zath. You know, they're turning on, they want it. Dasan couldn't quite get there. A little bit of a misread, but Southern Miss takes it 1-0.
Had the right idea, but not the right angle. You are Dasan there. It's a tough misplay as well. If he would have gotten there, that would have been a clear for the side of Ohio State. And they may have even had a counter, considering how far pushed up we saw Southern Miss. But now it may just be a second goal. Dasan gets to that. Doesn't even matter. Zath is in position. Now a 2-0 lead, and Southern Miss looking like they should be able to get through the rest of this game 3. But of course, there's still a lot of time left on the clock. We've only gone through the first 2 minutes. There's still 3 left for game number 3.
Southern Miss playing a great game right now. Ohio State kind of an overcommit. No one was back. They put themselves of an awkward position, just allowed Southern Miss to get that quick 1-2-3 passing play off. Almost a goal for Ohio State right there, but Zath able to get back, pinches it out to Dasan, who's going to hit it back middle, goes for the bumps, could not quite get there. Gaines is going to be up for that. Beat out by Zath. Bit of a double commit there from Melodic and Astro, or Astro and Zath. Matter though, Dasan gonna stay on this ball, bumps Astro off, Zath there, hitting it out, gets the other touch to Melodic. Such a close goal, couldn't quite get there, but what a passing play from the boys.
And something we're seeing a lot from Ohio State is they're getting to that one. Okay, never mind. Wow. I was going to say they're getting to that 1 yard line, but that's where they're really starting to struggle to capitalize, find the back of the net. They're getting that ball right in front of it, but finally able to score. It took a lot longer than kind of expected, but they've been struggling to finish out a lot of these shots and get them through. They probably could have a lead here if they were able to finish out a lot more of their possessions, but they finally get one there, 2-1. So they still are in this game. 1:50 on the clock. Astro just looking to find anyone in the midfield, then goes for a bump. Neither going to connect. Melodic needs to be careful. Last player back. Bungo actually gets bumped forward into the exact position he needs to be in. Dasan, though, gonna whiff on that. Gaines gets the touch, so at least saves him for the time being, but not for very long. Astro redirect. Left corner of the net, 3-1, and Southern Miss trying to put this game out of reach.
Yeah, I mean, as a Rocket League player, that was kind of expected. Dasan and Gaines were both 0 boost back on defense, and Astro had just missed, but he was up. Melodic with a boost, that beautiful pass straight to Astro for the redirect and the easy goal. I mean, it's gonna happen. You'll see it. It did. Let's see, Astro trying to make something else happen here. Gaines with a hit off. Again, Ohio State, 2 of their players with 0 boost. Slowly picking up pads. Dasan using everything he has. It looks like Southern Miss is playing a really strong boost star game.
Dasan was actually out of position there. It almost led to a goal for Ohio State. Looking for, I believe he was looking for that back boost of Southern Miss's side, and actually just got the ball passed right to him. Tried to take a quick shot, but it's not in the greatest position, especially with 0 boost. Now 45 on the clock. Slowly, time ticking against Ohio State. If they want to stay in this week's CRL Open, Dasan needs to make a play, hands it over to Gaines, off wall, looks for the second, gets the second, looks for the third, gets the third. Bungo now shot. Gaines going for the bump, had it right there, but the shot was not powerful enough, and that realistically will probably be it for Ohio State here this week. We'll see you next week. You are the Buckeyes.
Southern Miss, they're trying to score another. They want it.
Southern Miss also just trying to waste time, and they're doing a great job of it. And that realistically will be the game as the clock gets close to striking midnight for Ohio State, and it will do that. They might get another, but it won't matter. No goals here even mean much of anything. The winner will go on to, which is Southern Miss there, 3-1 game 3. They will now go to play the winner of Iowa State and Queens So we'll see what ends up happening there. They should be done really soon. They probably also went to game 3. That Southern Miss series, about 23 minutes. And that series for Iowa State and Queens is also at 23 minutes. Both start pretty much at the same time. So we'll realistically see them really soon here. But I think we can just go to like a 2 or 3 minute break since there's not a whole lot to break down in that series. Southern Miss just basically bringing it back in game 3. They got a it's sketchy in game 2, but managed to bring it all back. So we will await the winner of Iowa State and Queens. We'll catch you guys on the other side when we're ready to start our next series. We are back. Like we said, it was a pretty short break. Is Iowa State. They won 2-1 over Queens. The winner of this game will go on to play Illinois State, who is ranked number 11 in the power rankings for Collegiate Rocket League. So very big heavy hitter matchup next for whoever wins this game. But of course, it's going to be Iowa State first before we can see that game, especially, or at least if Southern Miss wins. If Southern Miss does not win, then obviously we will not be showing Iowa State, Illinois State. But that could be a good matchup. I don't really know. I don't know all these teams very well. And it looks like it's going to be Southern Miss on the blue side, so our overlay will be flipped, at least for game 1. For game 2, we'll make sure it's fixed. They don't tell us when they're switching teams, so that just kind of happens sometimes, but it's okay. As
Melodic joined a little late there.
Oh, I didn't even see that, but it doesn't matter. Psycho, almost a 10th off the wrong backboard, by the way. Zath gonna be flying forward. Now looking for Melodic. Redirect is there, but maybe a bit too powerful. Certainly someone eating their spinach. For the time being, though, it is going to be Illinois State now with possession. A bit of a giveaway for Astro. Vanish looking for someone, looking for the corner, probably Melodic. It's there, but doesn't make it work. A misplay almost leads to a goal from Crazy. Though, again, looking for Melodic, finds him, looking for the double tap. Actually gonna leave that to Astro. Zath now in place. It won't go. A minute in, we've had a bunch of shots go through already. Pass out to Zath, won't connect. That would have been a goal, though, if Zath got a bit of contact right there.
Man, I mean, couldn't quite get there. Such close plays right now. Melodic obviously joining a little late, but now that they're in the momentum of the game, it doesn't really matter. Southern Miss has been extremely low on boost a couple times, still managing to get past the defense of Iowa State right now. Melodic gonna doing some weird tricks. Astro gonna try and take this ball, pass it back to Melodic, who misses. Astro demoed off by Midas. Vanish to take a touch, couldn't quite get there. Midas gonna go up for the flip reset. No, tries to get a dunk. Astro trying to hit it off. Crazy. Boots it up, 0 boost. Melodic redirect. Taking smart control here, right to the corner. Miss looking really low on boots right now, but see if Iowa State can capitalize on this offense. Open net, right above Zath.
Shot there from Midas. And there's still 3 minutes on the clock, but Zath getting it a bit too far ahead of himself while trying to go for the clear there. Maybe not expecting Midas to be in that position, but also going for a touch off the wall despite not having boost. Would have needed to use that second flip, would have definitely taken a lot more possession away, but it doesn't even matter. As you can see Zath spamming in the chat, no problem. That is something you'll see a lot from these Southern Miss players, as Zath will just immediately respond back. 1-1 with 2:59 left on the game clock.
I mean, Zath probably spamming, no problem there, because, you know, he did miss that easy
Make a bit of a misplay.
and so he scored that goal, solidifying 1-1. So he was like, I made up for that misplay. So we'll see. Zath going for it again. Couldn't quite get there. A little bit of toxicity, I guess.
Not quite just yet. We'll see though if Southern Miss wins this game. It might get a little bit worse than that. Zath blocked by Midas, and a second shot, the follow-up blocked as well. I think that was Crazy who got it. I couldn't really see very well because of the demo, but Astro looking again for Zath, blocked by Crazy. Now a counter opportunity for Iowa State. Astro is back. Crazy is just getting chased the entire way down, or sorry, Vanish getting chased the entire way downfield. Astro will be the one up now for Southern Miss. There is, I believe, Melodic. It is Zath next in line. Will get a touch, but not much out of it. Astro gonna have to follow it up. Melodic, just Southern Miss trying to push the pace, and it's getting a bit sketchy though. If you are Southern Miss, you gotta be careful making plays like that. It's gonna allow the side of Iowa State to go for a counter, but not when you're shooting like Melodic does off the ceiling.
Man, Melodic putting that ball in off of Zath's 50. Very easy, right past Vanish. I don't think Vanish expected that. play right there.
Definitely not, and especially when you're shooting like that, Melodic slamming that one home.
Melodic going for it, hits it off. What an interesting read. Astro being there, couldn't quite get to it, allows Crazy to take shot with 0 boost, hits it to couldn't quite get there in time. Midas gets the read. Melodic again trying to go for these dunks. Crazy going again, bumping Zath off. Ends up landing on him. Zath still makes that save though. Iowa State trying to take any shot that they can. 50 after 50 for him. Quite get there. Vanish steals the boost from Astro. Melodic the only one with boost right now. Make this save up to Midas. Midas gonna try and take a touch. Couldn't do it. Zath up off backboard, trying to. Ends up getting the 50. Astro already up. Pre-jumped that interaction. Hits it up to Vanish. Melodic there to capitalize. Couldn't quite get it. Zath is going to go underneath. Can he get this? Hits it. Not quite. It's net's open. Crazy doesn't have enough boost to get there though. Let's see if Iowa State can capitalize on this. Looking very bad right now.
20 seconds left, and State need a goal now. Remember, the overlay is flipped, so actually it is USM that is winning this game. 10 seconds now. Another shot coming through for Zath. Not gonna go. Midas with a big save, but Iowa State gonna need to keep this one in the air, and I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to do so. Midas tries to hit it to the back wall and will not get it there. So USM gonna take game number 1. You can see Melodic there, the MVP of that. You'll see 2-1 scoreline overall as we go to flip the overlay to make sure that we all are on the same page here. Again, winner of this will go to play Illinois State Redbird, ranked number 11, one of the best teams in Collegiate Rocket League. But of course, see what happens there as Iowa State now needs to fight back in game number 2 to see if they can force a third. We saw Ohio State do that against Southern Miss. We'll have to see if it works the other way around as well.
I mean, Iowa State didn't do too bad there on defense. I mean, 2-1 goal line, very close games. Southern Miss, of course, able to get it off with that kickoff goal from Zath. Man, solidifying that game. Beautifully played. Let's see how Iowa State does. Melodic going over 1. Can he get the dunk? Saved by Midas. Zath, very low boost. Still going for this. Ends up rotating back. Couldn't do much. A little bump on Astro. Doesn't matter. Melodic takes the ball. Zath with boost. Again, goes for that little air dribble. Right over Crazy. Crazy gets a little bit of a redirect there. Take the 50, a little double commit there from Astro Melodic, miscommunication, Zath going for the ball, Melodic just throwing himself in on some of these, bumping his teammates off. It's ended up working out nice for them. Melodic going for a bump on Midas. Iowa State playing this a little bit slow. Close little shot there. Melodic doing a flip reset pass to that. Gets the 50. No one there. Melodic trying. Gets it to Zath. Zath tries to get it over. Ends up bump off Melodic there. Southern Miss not really able to do anything just yet.
Yeah, still holding that 1-0 lead in the series. We do have the teams now on the right sides. It's just the 1-0 thing carried over by team instead, which is a bit annoying, but that happens sometimes. So we'll see Southern Miss looking for another shot. That's going to be Melodic. Midas with the save. Now an opportunity, wide open net, top left corner if you're Crazy. Probably should have looked to put that short just to make sure that no defense, but realistically had the entire net to shoot on, so it doesn't really matter. It will be a 1-0 lead now for Iowa State here in game number 2. Looking to force game 3, and if they can do that, then they might have a chance.
Yeah, Astro unfortunately missing that touch that would have led to a strong counterattack for Southern Miss. Missed that one touch and it was a goal. You know, you miss one touch and it spells out a goal for Iowa State. They really needed that too. Puts them in the lead 1-0. See how Southern Miss respond. A little bit of a bump play right there from Astro. Trying to do anything. Nice little save there by Zach. Don't think that was going in, but would have hit cross. It's going for a shot to vanish off the crossbar. Crazy couldn't quite get there in time. Astro gonna try and take a 50 on this. Melodic there takes another 50. Let's see what Melodic can do here. Tries to hit it to Zath. Zath didn't have enough boost to get to it. Pretty sure that was Vanish. To defend, third man right now. Melodic looking for a demo on the back. Quite get the redirect. Post a beautiful 50 right in front of goal. Saved by Vanish with a bicycle. See how Iowa State responds to this immense offensive pressure.
Still holding a 1-0 lead in this game, which is massive, especially now how much pressure you're seeing Southern Miss put onto them. But regardless, it should at least be a small counter here from Iowa State. We're seeing them at least offensively get a lot of presence. Like the passes and the shots are very quality when Iowa State does get the opportunity. Mid there, a bit slow. Won't really mean much at the end of the day. Now, again, Southern Miss looking to attack, but look at this. Crazy going to go for the redirect. I don't think he got there. Definitely did not, as Midas is the one who gets credit for the shot. Melodic goes for the same thing. Also will not go. Pretty much a ditto scenario there. Shots go to the midfield. Now it'll be Vanish, not in position. Crazy going to have to contest Melodic. Melodic will at least get the 50 to go to the orange half. But very long. Midas gonna send this up to Vanish. Who is up? It is Astro. Now Melodic again sending it around the corner. Crazy contesting. Good work so far from Iowa State defensively, but for how long can they really hold off this push from Southern Miss? And it looks like it's going to be for a while, as now they have an opportunity for a pass mid. All rolls just a tad too high for Vanish. Now with 1 minute left, Melodic looking for the solo, saved by Midas. And again, shot goes through. Crazy this time on the save. The defense from Iowa State really showing through.
Yep, Melodic trying his best to go for these solo plays, opening anything up for his teammates to score. You know, it's worked for them in the past, but how well will it work for them here? Not able to get anything off. Looks to be an open. Melodic right there with the save. It's going crossbar again. Can Crazy get the shot off? Or Midas? Nothing yet. Crazy going for it over. Again, just Iowa State putting these on backboard, putting Southern Miss in an awkward position to where they really can't clear the ball. Astro, no boost, trying to go for that. Zach takes it. No one on Iowa State right now really up for that boost. See, Astro gonna try and hit it off wall for Melodic there. Bump, but sadly saved by Crazy. Iowa State really wants this game. Astro hits it up. Midas, instead of killing it, decides to hit it down. Yep, Midas leaves the ball for an Iowa State win. 1-1.
Yeah, it is 1-1. The scoreboard's a bit broken, but we'll make sure that's fixed for game number 3 here in just a second. That happens when you swap teams for some reason. Sometimes bar will not, like, it'll transfer per team rather than like side, which makes sense. This is a very rare scenario where that actually is like not helpful, but either way, we'll get into game number 3. It was 1-0 though. I mean, I'm looking at that saves category from Iowa State, and there are 8 total saves for Iowa State, 6 shots on target. So the fact that that's only a 1-0 game is pretty insane, to be honest with you. But now Iowa State with a chance for a major upset of number 20 Southern Miss, and then that would put them against the Redbirds. But of course, we have one more game to decide that. I believe one of the Iowa State players just figuring, or like finally going over a couple little things that they can work on game 3 and possibly make this upset go their way.
Now, obviously, Southern Miss had a bunch of shot opportunities that they couldn't capitalize on, which is good for them. I mean, you keep that offensive pressure and end up, I mean, they will break eventually. It's bound to happen. Iowa State, though, playing a beautiful defensive game that entire game, manages 1v1 Astro, couldn't quite get that pass. Melodic, that Couldn't quite get up to the ball. Iowa State immediately on this offensive pressure. Melodic gonna go for this. Vanish up, ball in the air. Astro jumps, trying to just hit this down to get it anywhere near the goal. Zath boom up to Melodic. Melodic backs off, realizes he's not in a very good position to get that ball there. Zath jumps, ends up missing. Astro reads that off the back ball. Zero boost. Melodic jumps, beats Crazy. Zath with a pass to Melodic. Melodic barely missing that shot. Zath there again, dunked on by Crazy though, or dunked on by, I'm pretty sure that was Vanish, straight till Crazy. Let's see, Iowa State playing a really strong offensive pressure right now, able to defend off these shots and make beautiful counterattacks. As I say that, almost right there from Vanish. Let's see how Southern Miss responds.
It's been a bit suffocating for Southern Miss, and they are being suffocated with the boost game. You can see again a lot of the players super low on boost, but that's a huge bump. That is going to be a goal. Melodic gonna slot that one through. The second that bump comes in, you know that's going straight into the back of the net. There's the only player back. Crazy almost kind of manages to get back, but regardless, that will not happen. It'll be a 1-0 for Southern Miss. They needed that, especially after how last game went. Iowa State, though, still very much in this. They're getting a lot of passes off. They're finding each other in the midfield pretty often, and that's a big part of what will create success for Iowa State and the Cyclones.
Southern Miss booms it up the field to Melodic. Can Melodic make anything out of it? Gets the double, which keeps some possession for the team. Off backboard, Crazy there to stop it. We're able to get that double. Did not expect that. Hits it up. Melodic takes it. Midas up. Beats by Astro. Sorry. Melodic jumping up by that. Zath trying to take this ball. Ends up with Crazy on the backboard, fighting for this ball. Trying to hit it to Astro. Astro, I'm pretty sure, got bumped off there by Midas. Not able to get that shot. Melodic going for some crazy double taps right there. Southern Miss still having possession of this ball, keeping the ball away from Iowa State, which is working really well for them. Boost control, almost a three-man passing play. Can they score it? Zath able to cut off the play real. They needs to play this faster. Southern Miss, even though their zero boost, is getting back to this ball almost immediately for the defense.
And that's something that Iowa State needs to really hone in on. Just being that tiny bit faster. That could have been a goal. Vanish, though, didn't really have a great angle, especially after receiving that pass, was just not going fast enough to dribble around. I believe it was Melodic or Zath in the midfield, but now there's another opportunity. Vanish, I think, kind of squandering that opportunity for Iowa State. Midas was in a good position to shoot. Vanish maybe not aware, couldn't really get out of the way. Crazy not upfield far enough. Vanish, though, gonna continue to send this one downfield for Iowa State. They are knocking on the door of Southern Miss, and right there is the answer. They bust down that door, and now it's 1-1. 1:29 left on the clock. Loser goes home. Winner plays Illinois State.
1-1. Southern Miss is gonna have to pull something out of their back pocket, and like I said, you know, once they get that offensive attack, Southern Miss was zero boost. I mean, no one to defend that goal. Astro left in goal with zero yet again. Looking like the Boise State game. You know, every time Southern Miss was zero boost, they were able to cap a little bit faster. That or play their pass correctly. Because yet again, any boost on defense, not looking very good.
Crazy had a nice read there. Gets the reset. Not sure if he's going to use it. Doesn't look like they do. 55 now, and Illinois State knocking on the doorstep, trying to just throw the doormat out the window, but it's still not going through. Good defense so far from Southern Miss. Midas now looking for the backboard, not going to get there. Here comes Crazy now looking for a second shot. Astro, though, will respond. Now looking for his teammates. It's going to be Zath. It's going to be a net almost wide open, but not quite. And 2 saves out from Iowa State. Here comes the counter. How fast can they respond? Astro, too quick for Iowa State. The Cyclones need to get downfield, but they're slowly running low on boost. Astro doesn't have basically anything. Finds an 100 pad. Zath now trying to get to Melodic. It's just chaos in the midfield. No one has control of the ball. Crazy gets 50 out of his brains. Now 10 seconds left. Will it be OT? It's looking like it might just be that. Here comes another shot from Melodic. Gets blocked. Pinch off the wall. Gonna actually go into the 50 for the midfield. Crazy launches it up. Who is home for both sides? It looks like it'll be Astro. OT. Here we go. Game number 3.
Man, what a game. Southern Miss, a little bit of a miscommunication on kickoff right there. Could that spell the end? Iowa State not able to capitalize on that missed kickoff play. Astro, though, 0 boost. The boys looking...
Wait, Zath is bumped. Almost. That got so close for Midas. That was way closer than what it probably should have been. Now Crazy, though, what touch does he get? Somehow he gets a touch at all on the ball there. It was looking, it didn't really look right. But look at that flip. That's a beautiful flip from Crazy, giving his team an opportunity. Now Zath, though, on the other end, looks for the redirect, not going to score. We go back and forth again. Crazy finds a demo onto Melodic, opens up some space, but it's Astro with possession of the ball, and now down to Zath. Vanish won't get bumped out of the way. Crazy doesn't get anything there either. A bit awkward now if you're Iowa State. Vanish gonna whiff. Midas has a chance, but not a good one. Melodic trying to bully it in. Now goes for the bump. Astro shoots it, but it's still saved by Crazy despite being bumped. Midas now in the corner. Who is there? It'll be Vanish. No boost for anyone on Iowa State. They need to find these 100 pads. Crazy just barely missing the mid one. Melodic gonna send this up to Zath. What do they have in the tank, though? It's basically nothing. That one gets past a bit more than it should have. Melodic shot, not going to go. Vanish barely there on the backboard. The only player that really had boost to work with. So we are now 2 minutes, actually not 2 minutes, a minute and a half into our OT. It's been very, very back and forth, but for how long? Is there someone there? A whiff, a bump, nothing gonna go yet for Southern Miss, though. The Golden Eagles looking to soar high into the next round, but the Cyclones making their way back into that blue half. Zath, Midas contesting. Now we are 2 minutes. A huge pinch downfield. Who was there? Nobody. Crazy. Just reading that beautifully. Joe, reset. Not gonna go. It was see again, should have a possession here as long as the ball doesn't go into the back of their net.
Yep, Astro hitting it down to Zath. Zath not able to get there in time to beat Crazy for that offensive play. Vanish takes a shot, backboard, almost a goal for Vanish right there. Zath trying to get this out after 0 boost. Melodic hit up to Zath. Can Zath do anything? Fakes it?
Left it for Melodic, but Melodic couldn't connect. Didn't get there in time. Was contested. Midas, no one home. Double commit from Southern Miss. You cannot have that happening now. You are 3 minutes into OT. You may have just left your goal wide open. Possession handed over to the other squad. Backboard, but it will be sent away once more. Finish out to the midfield again. Almost a scary possession, but still Iowa State not able to punch it through. Crazy just going for a bump, doesn't get to it. Vanish just needs to keep possession in the hands of Iowa State, and they might have a chance. Astro not going to be able to do much. Melodic almost had something, but ends up getting contested. Iowa State keeping the pressure on, keeping this one close. Now again looking for another play. It's Melodic this time around. Crazy off the backboard will at least send it away. A whiff from Zath, though. Crazy didn't have the boost to keep up with it. Should be a clear for Southern Miss as long as they take their time. Melodic going for demos, not going to connect. 3.5 now in OT, and we still are going. Midas, though, might get there. Maybe does, and he does. A 50 again. Astro, though, at least the third man back. We go once again.
Oh my gosh, Iowa State has to look out whenever they're going for these demos, because if one doesn't connect and They're out of position. Southern Miss could easily make a counterattack. They've almost done it a couple of times. Unfortunate double commit right there from doesn't end up connecting. Vanish going for another bump play right over the Iowa State defense. Let's see. Crazy trying to go for this ball. Gonna leave it for Midas. Midas with a miss. Hits it up. Barely any boost. Melodic just 50s with that. Crazy going up for that ball. Astro hitting it forward. Can't really do anything. Not really going to anyone. Ends up getting another 50. Melodic can't quite get to it. Vanish gets there. It's an open. Astro moves back. Getting the save. Iowa State cannot, life of them, capitalize on any of these defensive reads by Southern Miss, even though Southern Miss is 0 boost and has been for the majority of this game.
Look at how much time we have played. We have literally played an entire another game. Midas tries to dribble it around, won't go, but Midas here is again looking for the golden touch, the golden goal, the golden goose. 5 now full minutes on the clock. An OT shot down. Vanish not gonna go. Astro for the save, keeping Southern Miss alive, but for how long? Now Midas up again, ceiling, looking for the second. Zap again up, runs out of boost, but managed to get the save. Now a lot of pressure continuing to pile through. If you are Iowa State, they are right there time and time again, but they haven't been able to find the home field, haven't been able to find Pay Dirtes. It gets a bit sketchy there. Now Vanish looking for a play, not gonna go. We continue on forward. Crazy out mid. Where is Astro? Right there contesting. Southern Miss have been stifled this entire overtime, but maybe they might get an opportunity now, as Midas though still sending it downfield. 6 minutes on the clock. We may end up hitting a 10-minute overtime, which would just be unbelievable. We'll have basically played a best of 5 at that point. Astro now finally possession for Southern Miss, taking their time. No, they don't need to rush it. Here comes a shot from Zath. Reset, doesn't use it, but doesn't really need it either. Astro out of boost. 2 players at full 0. This could be dangerous. Melodic is back, but much can he get done? Huge bump, but that's actually going to go right to the midfield to Crazy. Almost an own goal to end your run, but it won't be that just yet. And now it's an almost open net. Astro doesn't really have much control of the ball, though. Now here comes Crazy, finds one. Now just Melodic. Actually, Astro appeared out of thin air there. Midas going to keep it back to Vanish. Has to go all the way back. This could be dangerous if you are Iowa State. Actually, no. Zath just going to pop it. Looks for something. Astro gets a demo. That could be huge. Melodic just going to send it back out. Here comes Astro. Actually not going to shoot like I thought we were going to see.
Let's see. I mean, they're playing really strong offense right now. Maybe Iowa State almost an open net. Midas barely got there. I mean, Iowa State wants this as much as anybody. Both teams taking crazy offensive shots, and it's game.
Now, 7-minute, 15-second OT in what, I'll be honest, should not have been anywhere near that. This is this Iowa State team, not saying they're bad, but at the same time, this series should not be close like that. You're looking at your next opponent, Illinois State. It is Redbirds out west. That is a scary thought if you are Southern Miss. You've just played about 20 minutes of a series, 30 minutes of in-game time in a series. You have to be careful of what you're looking at. But then again, Illinois State has not played for almost a full hour. So that is also on the opposite end of what we just saw. You have to be thinking about on the other side too.
I mean, that was a dangerous game right there. Iowa State playing out of their minds. I mean, one of the better teams that we've seen today. Obviously, what pull back the Golden Eagles the way that they were and make these offensive plays is just insane. Both teams playing out of their mind, offensive wise, defensive wise. Southern Miss able to take it at minute overtime.
And there are a lot of places, and Iowa State's probably going to get into the spot if they know that this stream is up. They're going to look at 7 to 10 different places OT where they're like, we could have won here, we could have won here, we could have won there. There were so many plays where they had the lineups picture perfect, exactly what they needed, just couldn't convert. And game one, in game two was a 1-0 where it could have been way worse than that for Iowa State. It's going to be a lot of VOD review for Iowa State where they should be seeing they can compete with those types of teams, and that should absolutely be happening. They looked incredible there in that series. I mean, almost a 10-minute OT in game 3 with Southern Miss. That's nothing to scoff at if you are Iowa State, who's not even ranked, by the way. Southern Miss sitting at number 20. Now they'll be taking on number 11, Illinois State. You got to be careful if you are the Golden Eagles.
No, of course. I mean, this should be a very interesting matchup. Illinois State being ranked higher than Boise State. I mean, we're going to have to see how Southern Miss plays this. Obviously, they lost that Boise State game. They're going to win this match, and then they're going to meet Boise State yet again.
Yes, they should meet Boise State yet again after that as well. If they do beat Redbird, which I'm very intrigued by this series. I don't know much about these Iowa State players I've seen, so I think I know of No Mansion, but the other two I'm not super familiar with. So we'll have to see how that one pans out, and we should be able to get into it relatively quickly as well. I don't know if Iowa State is very well aware, but also I do want to report this. The upper bracket Northwood has qualified. They 3-1 Davenport in the qualifying round. If you were unaware, the qualifying rounds are best of 5. Everything else is best of 3. Northwood Blue 3-1 over Davenport. Very expected result, but they will be seeing tomorrow in that top 8 for Sunday. Davenport now to wait for the losers final to be ready to see if they can qualify for day 2 double elim.
Yep.
It looks like we might have a little bit of a break here in between matches, so we will take about 3 to 4 minutes. It's been reported, but I don't know what we're going to see from Redbird. I don't know if they'll be ready right away. Actually, they are, so we're not going to take a break. We just need to change our overlay, make sure that our game is all set up. We are in the party, everything, all of that. So we should be ready to hop basically straight into this. I don't know if Southern Miss is going to want to take a break because that series was a bit of a grind, especially towards the end, but way shouldn't be too big of a deal. We'll see what we get into though, and pretty much hopping straight into the series. On the other side, you are going to have Boise State waiting for the winner of Drexel and Rochester Christian. Assuming it's going to be Drexel that wins that one, and then Boise State that wins the next. And the winners of those two, of the Boise / Drexel Rochester, Illinois Southern Miss, or Illinois State, sorry, Southern Miss, they will play each other for a shot against Davenport for that title shot, or not title shot, for that open Sunday shot for tomorrow. That was real. I butchered that very hard, but you get, I think you all get what I mean.
Yeah, and it looks like we're to get into this.
And I do see, yeah, the teams are joining, so we should be ready to go in just a second. They're joining, leaving. That happens all the time. I don't know what's going on with all that, but it should be perfectly fine. It will be Illinois State. The Redbirds, always a very formidable roster in every single title. It doesn't matter what game it is, they are a good team. I mean, that's just how it is. They have recruited very well. They are probably one of the best schools out there in terms of collegiate esports. There's a reason their Rocket League team is ranked 11th, and most of their other teams are also ranked in the top 10, especially when it comes to something like Overwatch. They're a big Overwatch school. Then Maryville, very similar schools. I see Illinois State and Maryville very similar, and I think it's partially just because they're both bright red.
Yeah, I mean, this should be an interesting matchup. If Southern Miss can take off a win here, I think they can manage to take off a win against most of the upper bracket.
Yeah. Lower bracket
Lower
now.
bracket.
Absolutely. I would see them competing. If they can beat Illinois State, they have the ability to beat a team like Boise State, but we'll have to see how that goes through here first. A demo onto Zath CG, just flying through. That's almost an open net. And look at how fast these players of Illinois State are moving. They got Southern Miss on the back side, on the back foot. They have to be very, very careful. You cannot see a lot of the misplays that we did in that Iowa State series. That needed to be a wake-up call for Southern Miss, because they cannot cannot have mistakes like that against the Redbirds.
I mean, Southern Miss already sitting very low on boost, almost letting a goal go for Illinois State. Illinois State on this heavy offensive pressure. Southern Miss is going to have to make a very quick counterattack. Try and get even a glimpse of scoring. If they can take this early game, that'd be great.
And that's a great touch from No Mansion. Barely able to get to that ball, but it doesn't matter. Zath flying through, gets Illinois State on the back foot and manages to capitalize. Southern Miss, I don't know how many opportunities they're going to get like that, but they need to make plays very similar to what we just saw there. Just putting high octane pressure onto the Redbirds. That's your only way you're really going to end up beating a team like Illinois State. You're seeing, again, they have a lot more pressure. Cosmic, though, is going to be flying forward, doesn't get a touch. Here comes Astro. CG at least going to contest it. Now it's going to be a free shot. Open net. Illinois State having some very big misplays on their end. You see there, it was a whiff from, I believe it was Cosmic, and you can't have that, especially in a series as fast-paced as this one.
Man, I mean, already Southern Miss takes it 2-0. They are not playing around. They want this as much as anybody. They really want to make it back to Boise State to try and win that game. Cosmic trying to go little shot there, couldn't quite get it off. Zath playing really good defense. Let's see, CG has a shot, saved by Astro, just barely. Southern Miss barely any boost. Melodic with 100, Zath going for that. Melodic hits it out straight to CG. Cosmic, only one with boost. Melodic is bumped off by Cosmic, couldn't quite make a play on that ball that he hit. Astro gonna go for a flip reset. Gets a secondary touch on that. I don't think anyone expected that, with Zath jumping for it to try and take that. Zath 0 boost, just taking a quick 50. Cosmic gonna try and go for anything he has here. A little double commit there again from State. Melodic knows they're really low on boost, could not quite get it over Cosmic for the goal capital. Mansion gets the ball off of Zath, or off of Astro. Zath hits it up, hit down. Melodic dodges the demo. However, No Mention takes that boost. Takes the shot. Melodic doing a beautiful job. Tries to get that wizard flick right there to just hit it up. Couldn't quite get it. A nice solid 50. Open. And quick shot by No Mention to seal it.
I'm not 100% sure what there. I'm not sure where the third was. I think there had to have been a demo somewhere that I missed, but just saw two players from Southern Miss upfield, probably expecting it was Zath who was on the wall to get a larger touch. And I would have been a goal for Southern Miss. So it's just one of those plays where the 50 essentially determines who gets a goal out of it. That's what my thought is. I'm not really sure, though, as CG looking for a second to equalize, but not going to get there. Now No Mansion, a misplay from them, as it'll be a bit awkward from both teams. Everyone just really confused on what's happening right now, as I saw Cosmic and No Mansion basically in the same inch of space. Now CG, though, shot goes down, but Melodic is there to meet him. Block will keep USM in the lead. Zath now looking for something, getting bumped around, does at least manage to get back to the ball. Southern Miss doing a great job of just contesting the ball as much as possible. It won't matter, though, as CG slams one home. 1:44 on the clock. And this is the type of play you're going to expect to see this entire series. Both teams are just flying onto the ball. And that should be an expectation, especially when you have a top 20 matchup like this one.
Yeah, Zath bumped off Astro there. Astro would have had that save if Zath didn't go for that ball. A bit of a miscommunication, but it's okay. 2-2, basically a 0-0 game. Astro hits it over Seed or Cosmic. Melodic trying to hit it up to Astro. Cosmic takes control of that with Zath in the way. Melodic barely any boost, just trying to get a 50 here, anything he can get. No Mansion gives up possession straight to Astro. Astro, a little bit of a mistouch. No Mansion 50s it into the goal. Illinois State, 3 straight goals to take the lead.
They were down 2-0, and they've managed to make a huge comeback, and that's just some bully ball right there. Zath one in the air, and typically if you're in the air going into a 50 like that, you're not going to get much out of it. I'm not saying it was a bad play from Zach. There's literally nothing he could do there, but that's just in general what in Rocket League what will happen if you're in the air, because you're not grounded. You don't have the ability to continue controlling the ball and controlling your car where it's going. And what a pitch from CG and Cosmic. I mean, no one's going to read that, although the reader clear is almost read by CG. Now 50 on the clock. Southern Miss need to get on to the offensive here if they want to have a chance to take game number 1. CG, though, now open season for Illinois State. That'll go into the back of the net. Not a chance for Southern Miss to get back the second all 3 of those players commit. Now 44 on the clock. You need 2 just to tie, and you need 3 to take the lead and win the game.
Looks like Illinois State just needed a little warm up there, needed to put a little gas in their tank and crank that engine, but when they started rolling, they are rolling. I mean, 4 goals in a row in I think a span of 2.5 minutes. I mean, very fast plays. Try and go for this ball. No Mansion manages to hit it off. Melodic 50, No Mansion. Ball Zath 0 going up the wall for this. Can't quite anything. Melodic ends up taking the ball, hits it up to Astro. Quick shot, can't quite get in there. Saved by CG. Zath going again for another 50. Cosmic playing this really well, taking it slow. They need another goal. They just need to hold off Southern Miss from getting 2 more, and it looks like this seals the deal for Illinois State.
Oh, Cosmic just sending another one home if they weren't aware enough. And also, look at the time. They have to do another kickoff because there is a singular second on the clock. If that is not rubbing salt in the wound, I don't know what to tell you what is. But 5-2 in favor of Illinois State. Now one game away from sending Southern Miss home, and they are looking for a 6th. This is just foul play from Illinois State, but it will be sent down by USM. And it will be game number 1, as we'll see if USM is able to make their way back to this series. And of course, best of 3s, you get a lot less opportunity to make things up. And now, if you're on USM, you have to go for a reverse sweep against one of the best teams in all of Collegiate Rocket League. And can't say that's an easy feat. Someone who's been around Collegiate Rocket League for a while, it's not something you see very often either.
Yeah, I mean, they started off insanely hot, so they missed it, but just could not manage to keep that momentum as Illinois State wound up for the kill. 5 goals in a row over a span of 3 minutes is insane, especially for a game of this high a level. But let's see how Southern Miss responds. As you said, they do need that reverse sweep, so we'll see how it goes.
Something we talked about earlier today was how USM is sending a lot of overcommitting a decent bit, and when you're doing that sort of play against a team like Redbird, it is just impossible to continue that style of play, especially knowing how fast these players are. And not just that, the players on Illinois State are going to be just hyper aware of everything that's going on. It's not quite like a Northwood where you're seeing RLCS players and knowing how they play, but like it's a very similar style where one little overcommit can lead to a counterattack that's so fast you don't get a chance to recover. Essentially, USM either just needs to have a bit faster of a recovery speed, or they need to be a bit more careful with how they control possession. Like right there, a very slow play from Astro ends up getting contested. I don't know if he had much boost to work with, but at the same time, you just need to get the ball out of your hands, send it to a teammate, and try and find someone. Otherwise, you're going to get sent to the midfield, and No Mansion has an opportunity. Another one for Illinois State, not going to go, but you're seeing what I'm talking about here. Southern Miss trying to slow things down. They're just not going to be able to, especially when you're getting tested on the ball as heavily are right now against a team like Illinois State. Now you're going to see that shot go through, won't connect, but Southern Miss definitely have the pieces to make this theirs. We saw them go up 2-0. They know what they need to do in order to get a lead against a team like this, but it's just a massive struggle to get anywhere near that style of possession.
Yeah, I mean, and right now they're doing great on the boost and managing to keep Illinois State down, trying to score. What a goal by Zath, just floated right into his hands by Astro. And as I said, I mean, No Mansion back, zero boost, Cosmic miss. Zath just takes that easy shot. Southern Miss lead 1-0.
We saw a similar style of play from Illinois State when they were on the other side. And exactly what Southern Miss needs to do. That's exactly why they do those they have those double commits, especially when they start full sending it all the way out to the goal line. And this might be another opportunity here for just that. Zath gonna get demoed, but he didn't have boost, so maybe for the better, because now he can go back and grab that boost, allow Melodic and Astro to make a play, and Zath is right back in it. There's Astro, has to go for the save, gets demoed though, so Zath needs to be a bit careful with this touch. Does just that. Cosmic gonna get 50'd. But it's realistically still possession for Illinois State. 1-0 though, so they need that goal to go through if they want to find an equalizer. 2 minutes now in the game. CG not able to get a good touch, but Mansion is still in position, looks for something, probably a flick, but gets demoed by Zath. Would like to see Southern Miss start upping the amount of demos they're getting, and they are doing that here in game 2. That's what will send them to a game 3 and a possible upset of Illinois State. No Mansion though, up for Cosmic. Cosmic now has Astro out of the way, goes for the dunk, won't connect. Zath gonna be there for the save. No Mansion though, gets it out to Cosmic, another shot, this time blocked by Astro. Now No Mansion's up to bat. Is it going to be a home run, or will it simply be a strikeout / foul ball? Cosmic going to send it home. The passing play, 1-1. Illinois State finds the equalizer.
Southern Miss that entire time. Boost starve, Melodic back in net. Really nothing he can do that entire time. Managed to grab that back right boost, but could not get into the goal in time to save that ball. You know, it's just really good plays. We saw a similar level of play from Boise State, boost starving Southern Miss to the point to where there's no attack at all. And there's barely any defense. So
I just saw all 3 players from Southern Miss stacked almost on top of each other. They need to be careful there as they do manage to recover, but it's still possession and pressure from Illinois State. No Mansion's going to grab that close boost too, so even less boost to grab if you are Southern Miss. CG going to get contested though. Southern Miss should have at least some time to grab boost, and that's going to be exactly what happens. Zath reset, not going to be able to follow it through, but it will be Melodic and Astro backing him up. Is there anyone there to continue the possession though? It looks like it will not be. No Mansion sending it over to that corner. Melodic again carrying it out. CG basically handing it to Melodic for another pass, but at least forces it out to the corner, as No Mansion almost would have had a dribble play, but not going to work as he does get bumped. CG almost gets the flick. 15 seconds left to maybe another OT, or will it just be an Astro shot? Not going to have the boost to get there in time. CG looking for something, no one home. No Mansion now has an opportunity for a play. Not gonna go, blocked by Zath. 3, 2, 1, 0 on the clock. Is anyone gonna be able to score? Astro may just look to send this to OT and does just that. Another game 2 OT. This one, will it be another 7-minute banger, or will it be a quick OT for game number 2?
The Miss is going to have to capitalize right here. They did really well in that last 2 minutes, holding on to boost, managing to keep that offensive pressure. I mean, look at this. 0 boost. Melodic missing that boost.
Open net.
Shot. Astro not enough boost to get that demo on Cosmic. Would have been open. Just could not quite get there.
Also, there's not enough momentum for Melodic to put a power that shot, as it's going to be almost the exact same thing on the other side. In fact, it was the same thing. CG didn't have any momentum either, so again the ball gets saved because it's not going very fast, and that allows the defense to get back. CG looked for a reset shot, not gonna go. Astro gets the block. Now Melodic puts a 50 up in the air. Who is for this ball? It will be Astro. Has the ability to pass it out mid. Gonna go for it. No Mansion though will receive it. Now a minute into the OT. CG not gonna get anything. Gets contested. Melodic maybe just looking for a bump. No one home.
They're trying to send this past middle. They're doing really well right now. Oh, well, as I say that, a little bit of a double commit there from Melodic and Zath. But so far, their boost management and the way that they're holding on to it has been really good. Open net, saved by Zath. Nice little quick shots. No Mansion keeps control of this on the wall, hits it middle. Melodic hits it out. No Mansion able to get that boost. Astro only one, booms it down. No Mansion the only one there. Touch right there. No goal though. No one there from Southern Miss. Hits it to No Mention misses. Can Astro manage to pass this? Could there's Zap up for it, waiting. Melodic takes it right to Cosmic. Up. Can Astro get to that? Did he get the flip reset? Not quite. Zath is gonna boom this up, trying to give Melodic a hit. Melodic ends up not going for it, realizing he's not in a very good position. Just gonna boom it forward, going for demos, anything that they can find, trying to get an Illinois State player off. Beautiful defensive play. That's a demo. No Mansion miss.
That could have been a goal right there from No Mansion, but he ends up whiffing on that shot and didn't have a crazy angle, but at the same time, very open opportunity for Illinois State to end this series right there. Now gonna have to go for it again. 2:42 now OT time, as it's gonna be a good pass down to Zath. Gonna look for the midfield. Cosmic though again going to receive the ball. Now gonna go coast to coast, but it won't be much else, as now No Mansion off the backboard. Is there someone there to finish? And CG will shut down Southern Miss, and they will be eliminated in losers round, I believe 9, losers quarterfinal. You'll see Illinois State going on to face either Boise State or Rochester Christian.
Wow, what a close game. I mean, able to compete with the number 11 team. I'm pretty sure those games were 1 to 2 goals away from each other.
Yes.
Beautiful plays. Southern Miss adjusted really well. However, just could not get there in the very end. You know, I hate to see it, but what do you do?
A great run there for Southern Miss, though. End up going 5-2 in the play today. Illinois State now at 5-1, so not going to qualify for tomorrow. Unfortunately, that will do it for us this weekend, but we will be back on Monday with, you would never guess, another triple header of NACE Rocket League. So we will have a lot more Rocket League coming at you. This time, though, it will be on Monday. Nothing going on tomorrow, but be sure to follow us on social media at USM Esports on Twitter, Southern Miss Esports on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and right here on Twitch. You can go right down below and hit follow. Go do that. Makes us all happier here in Hattiesburg. That's going to do it for us today. Thank you all for joining in, as it has been a pretty long day. We have just been switched off. We got ended before we could actually end, but it's okay. We got one more thing to say, so it's not like you're missing a whole lot, but I'll let you start us off tonight.
Goodbye, Southern Miss.
To the top. See you guys on Monday.